definitely will. Why did the princess cross the road?
I don't know.
Because she wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
Oh. I got so pissed at the pub the other night, I could barely walk, so I drove. Can't hit it.
Good evening, Internet.
Welcome back to another episode of In the Doghouse, the podcast. You're right.
No, I don't know what happened there. Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome back to another episode in the Doghouse, the podcast that did its Holocaust presentation to the class armed with nothing more than a calculator.
Ring the bell.
If you had 6 million lemons, and you had one
Shut up!
I found the line. Holocaust denial is the line. I don't genuinely. Just joking. Just jokes. It's comedy, right?
Right. Yes, you are a joke, Reg. Get on the website, buy the fucking merch. It's good shit. There are no t-shirts on there. Why are there no t-shirts on there, Reg?
Because they're done. We've done those designs. They're done. They're
Where
over.
are the next ones?
I am working on them. Jesus.
Good. I'm glad to hear.
I said, like the overseer, isn't he? Y'all better get back to work now, Reggie.
My little moustache.
Yeah. So that's it for t-shirts. I'm working on some new ones. What else is on the site, Marlon? Anything?
Wait,
Stickers?
hats, stickers, air fresheners, flight tags,
Key rings.
your mum's pants,
everything you could need and more.
Key rings,
Yeah, get some stickers.
stuff.
Do we still have some stickers? Are they back in stock?
Oh yeah, there's a few See Response Sync non-stickers.
They're back in stock. So everyone was moaning that we didn't have them. They're back now. So get them while they're hot, because don't know if we'll stock them again. I don't know. It's like the t-shirts. They might come back. They might not. Maybe yes. Maybe go fuck yourself. I don't know.
The beanies are now live because I know it's getting a little bit cold.
Ah, good. Awesome.
Yeah, buy some shit or don't.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's it. Thank you, Marlon Bezos, the logistics manager of the show. Massive shout out to the patrons. You guys keep the show going, keep the lights on, keep the beers cold. It means a lot to us. Like I said on the last show, become a patron. That's all I have to tell you. Stop being such a cheap fuck. You've been listening to this for a long time. Just give us your money at this point. Bob Geldof, give us your fucking money. Yeah, become a patron. It helps the show. You can join the Discord, which has been weirdly today. I don't know what got into them on there. The little rascals that they are.
Little bit of heat stroke in it.
Like I said before, it's like watching an ant colony, or amoebas grow in a petri dish. They're completely let loose on there. And then
that's it. There is no holds barred.
There will be sort of trends that come up every now and again, like lots of tranny porn for a while, which was a strange time. Haven't seen it for a while. I haven't seen it for a while. It crops up every now and again. Lots of breast milk shit going on today. Women milking titties. I was like, this is some absolute single mum behaviour. What is going on? That was so. If you want to, and I saw someone get their head kicked in and set on fire as well on the Fucked Up Shit channel. So. Yeah, pretty wild. Not gonna lie, it's good fun on there. You should join. And if you,
if you like lactation or kick-ins,
I don't kink shame anyone. If you want a jacket to watching someone get set fire to, I'm all for it. But anyway, yeah. So if you want to join the Discord, you got to join the Patreon. Join for as little as a couple of quid a month. What subscription service can you get in this world for a couple of quid a month? Fucking
not Brazzers.
No, not even that. Exactly. You'll get more. There's all day entertainment. Well, how many times can you jack it in a day to Brazzers? Not for jack to wank to monetary value. You're gonna get more from the Doghouse.
Bang for your buck.
That's where it came from. So yeah, join the Patreon. You'll be in the Pit Viper giveaway. We'll have done the Pit Viper giveaway by the time this comes out, even though we haven't at the time of recording. So it's all a bit backwards, but. Yeah, you can join that. We give away. What do we give away, Marlon, every month?
2 pairs of Pit Vipers every month.
And it's only because of you guys that we're able to do that. It's giving a little bit back to you legends. We go live on YouTube and fuck around doing something. Don't know what we did last week. We might have repaired something. We might have just sat in here and talked shit. I don't know. But yeah, join in. And then what else do you get if you join the top tier Patreon? £6 a month, which means the most.
You get 10.69%.
off the merchandise.
Everything,
Off the whole-
everything on the fucking store.
Yeah, and if you become a patron, you get first look in on all the merch. We often put on what we're doing on there. If we're doing like a you write in your shit stuff, you guys hear about it first. You know, it's all that good stuff.
That's it. You get a little bit of input on merch design.
And I am on there all day because I'm chronically online. So I am on there all day fucking around.
Because you don't do fuck all at work.
No, you're right. I don't. So yeah, it's a good laugh, and they're a fucking good lot on there, and I really enjoy it. The Birkenau boys, I'm all about that channel. Them weight loss lads are fucking kicking the shit out of it. Yeah, so join in. It's great fun. We might get t-shirts made. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe a bit close to the bone.
They will have to be extra small.
Oh dear. Right. Or maybe everyone's got to write down what their current size is, and we don't let them buy it until they reach their goal size.
It's like a medal.
Yeah, it's like one of those fucking like I ran a marathon medal. Like, oh yeah, I lost some weight listening to the Doghouse, and now I've got this shit t-shirt.
I seriously do need to rejoin that because I am very rotund at the minute. I blame the
Rotund.
lager.
Yeah, well, that's your doing, not mine. You do it to yourself, baby.
Yeah, I know.
And finally, before we get going, a massive shout out to the sponsor of the show, the AUTOMOVER. Marlon. Give me a list of things that the AUTOMOVER does that other auto vehicle moving people don't.
Turns up on time.
Yes, exactly. What else does he have?
He's professional.
Yep.
He's insured.
Well, yeah, that is a main thing, really, because my mate can do it for this, and I'm like, yeah, guarantee he's not insured. Guarantee that thing's not plated.
What happens if he does a Matt Wyborn going down a motorway?
Yeah, and what happens if he gets pulled over by the DVSA? Guess what? Your car gets impounded too.
What a mess.
It's not good. I've seen some very questionable things from some of. I'm not going to name no names because I don't really know any names, but you know them when you see them on the road, don't you? It's always an 04 Sprinter with something that really looks like. I don't reckon that body quite matches that. I reckon that's been bodged on there by somebody else. You're not going to get that kind of service with the AUTOMOVER. He's been doing it for years. You are a dedicated load. You've heard him on here. He knows the ins and outs of everything when it comes to car moving, and you know it's in safe hands, and it's fully insured, and he's reliable.
Live tracking!
Live tracking, and he's professional. When he says he's going to be there, he's going to be there. When he says he's going to pick it up, he's going to pick it up. You are a dedicated load. There's no one else in his day that he's worrying about other than you. The wife's phone calls can wait. The child's in the hospital. No, I've got a disco to pick up. Everything else is on hold for you. The AUTOMOVER is the man to go with. If it's got one wheel, two wheels, no wheels, caravan, boat, trailer, anything you need moving, the AUTOMOVER has got you covered. Big up to him. He's the one to go with for all of your auto moving needs. Check him out. The link in the vehicle description. Link in the
vehicle description.
Link in the description. Link in the bio. Use 10%. Use ITDH for 10% off in the vehicle description. I'm tripping over my words. Something fierce today, Sam. I'm sorry. I'll give you 10% off. Yeah,
70%.
No, big up to the AUTOMOVER for sponsoring the show. Hit him up for all your vehicle moving needs. Right, Marlon, who are we joined by this evening?
Back once again, bringing the ill behaviour. We have Kieran. How you doing, mate?
Hello, mate. I'm good. How are you?
It's only taken 800 invites for you to come
Yeah,
back.
that's my bad. I'm so sorry.
I feel like the problem is we record on a Tuesday, and Kieran, amongst, being a high-flying accountant and this deadlifting legend.
One wedding a week.
Protein-obsessed man that he is. He does football on a Tuesday, and I'm always like, just bin the football off. But no, apparently football comes first. And it was like raining one day, and I was like, you're not playing football today. He's like, indoor pitch, shag, sorry. I was like, for fuck's sake!
I played with my old man, he's 60, and he sort of said, like, look, before I go on in this world, I wouldn't mind a couple of games with me boy. So I think, like, just, show you how to play football, Dad.
Is this stuff that he missed out on when he was young, or you were young?
Yeah, I was really fat when he was a great footballer, but I was really fat, so I was shit.
You were?
Yeah, I bet I look like Kim Jong-un, or whatever his name is. I'll show you a picture of the break. Honestly, yeah. I couldn't do much running, yeah. He used to try and make me run, well, not make, he used to try and get me to run around the block, but my tits were so big that it hurt me back.
Oh, yeah. Now you obviously had massive arms back then. You've still got massive arms now, but for a very different reason. You are a
For them
fucking
bingo
unit.
wigs.
I'd love to have you sit down with the HMRC and then be like, oh, well, we're going to, and you'd be like, yeah, and? Sorry? Just start doing the gun show like Arnie, be like, yeah, sorry, carry on, what was that? You didn't think that was allowable? Well, I think it is.
Fucking call centre workers.
Oh, dear. So are you good, man?
I'm all right, mate, yeah.
Good.
I'm all right, can't
Yeah.
complain.
Life's treating you well? The
Life
world,
is-
the
life
world
is
of
good.
accountancy, we're not sending too many fucking lunatics your way.
I love it. In the email box, it's, the Doghouse sent me.
I'm always like, tell him the Doghouse sent you.
Oh, then you just ring him up. Shag. And then that's it. Then we're good. Half hour later, we've probably discussed 2 seconds of business and had a good old catch up and may or may not have a client. I don't know.
Well, I'll speak to you later, Shag. Okay, I think I've got a new client. I don't really know. Regardless, I've had a good time.
Yeah, it's been wicked. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad to hear it, man. How's your week been?
Oh, man, yes, it's been all right. It sounds better than both of yours. It's been all right.
no, we're getting
I
that.
thought I was knackered, but I've had a monster. I'm good to go.
You're fucking G'd up.
I'm buzzed now. Yeah, this is going to be a shocking recording because I'm off my tits. Let's dance.
I texted him earlier. I said, look, don't rush, Kieran. I've had a fucking hell of a day and I'm running a bit behind. He was like, yeah, I'm pretty shattered. I'm going to have I can't remember which way you said it. I'm going to have espresso and a nap. I was like, I don't know. I think there's only one way you should do that, really. But
No, I don't know what order I did it. I just ended up watching YouTube, so I didn't even nap in the end.
that's the worst part. The moment you get on that phone and you start looking at shit, I'm like, well,
It's hours lost.
let's see how Rhodesia fell. And I'm like, down the rabbit hole we go. That's how I got this monthly obsession. My monthly obsession with Rhodesia is just like letting YouTube autoplay. It starts off with like how the Nazis did the Holocaust, and then it goes on to, look at how the Yugoslav wars, and I'm like, and down we go, and now I've just ended up in this place where I am now. But you know it better than I do, Marlon. You're a fucking YouTube addict. I don't think you've even got a television license, you can.
I don't. Fuck them. What are they going to do? Sack me?
Jesus. I have only rediscovered YouTube in the last few months.
What?
I know. I used to be
Rediscovered?
big into it, like 10 years, whenever it was ago. I was making COD montage little clips. With
Really?
Yeah. And then I just stopped watching YouTube. Don't know why. I was like, fucking on. The videos have improved, haven't they?
Oh, yeah.
That's some production on there. Oh,
Last
the
thing
ring lights,
you're
everything.
watching like MLG videos.
Yeah. Fucking Grizz, like, yeah. And now, yeah.
XX underscore sniper scopes 360 underscore.
Them were the days.
They were the days. They were the fucking days. Just like, I don't mean COD montages. They were the one. I could just watch them in envy of how good they were and how god awful I was. If I had anything above a 0.5 KD, I was like, I'm going to go pro. I'm part of the FaZe clan. In fact, I'm just shit.
I never, like, was it on Black Ops where you used to be able to make your own emblem?
Yes.
I wasn't very good with dates, so I had the swastika.
Oh my
And I would just, it was wicked. It was so funny. But I weren't that bad, so I was smashing people left, right, and centre because I didn't go outside, so all I did was play COD.
Yeah.
And then I was playing one Sunday, and I got a message saying, "You're disgusting." Remembrance Sunday, wasn't it? Didn't realise.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't have the swastika no more.
I suppose you get banned for that. Nowadays, you've got like AI that's like trained on shit like that that'll ban you.
Yeah, them were before those days.
Have you heard about there's actually the website where you can put in your gamer tag and it will bring his face has just dropped. And you can put in your gamer tag and it will bring up the speech, the fucking lobbies, and it will have all the recordings of like what was said in that lobby.
How does that?
I don't know. Apparently, somebody's obviously got access to it, and you literally put in your gamer tag, and it will come up. We might even do it in the break, see if we can find get a Kieran stuff.
Oh God, no!
Fuck you, fag. Just to hear how much your voice has changed as well.
What?
Triple. So it's been all right then.
It's been all right, mate. Yeah, I can't complain. Yeah, I went to the cinema the other day. Watched.
What'd you watch?
There was this M. Night Ding Dong, whatever his name is.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, there was a film called what was it, Trapped or something like that.
I think this is one of the ones I wanted to watch.
It's so good. But
Oh, is it?
the whole premise is that this guy, I'm not going to spoil anything, but this guy takes his girl to this, basically a Taylor Swift concert, takes his daughter.
That's right.
And they block him in because he's a serial killer.
Yeah, it's matey from Pearl Harbor, innit? Josh Harnett.
Sounds about right, yeah. Yeah, but like, I was just there. I was watching it, and it, was all these screaming girls, not at the cinema, but in this concert. And I was just like, if I was that serial killer dad, I'll just go to the police. Like, just lock me up. I don't want to be found this.
Shoot me now.
Just shoot me now, or I'm going to off a few of these cunts in here.
I take as many as I can with me. Because Ariana Grande to place up.
That was basically it. Yeah.
Jesus. when I left my mouth, I thought, ooh, too soon.
I couldn't think of anything worse than a Taylor Swift concert.
Now I've seen the pictures of just like Lewis from the Discord has been running in and out of there, and he the coach, and it just looks like hell on earth. I love it. He took a picture, and it was just all women in cowboy hats and cowboy boots, and one solitary dude, and I was like,
she's not country.
All right, go on, steady on.
She is scum.
Oh, you have very strong feelings about Taylor Swift.
I don't like her. I think she's a bitch.
Well, she's green, Marlon. Remember that. She's very conscious about her carbon footprint.
Yeah, fucking.
She'd send a private jet to get the fucking remote off the other side of the sofa, the bitch.
No, she got people for that.
Speaking of which, have you heard about the new Starbucks CEO?
No.
Oh shit! So Starbucks have had a bit of a slump in sales, so I think they've binned off.
Had to sell some private jets.
No, they've binned off one of their CEO. They got a new one, and he refuses to move to the headquarters, whatever you call it, Castle of Doom.
The headquarters of a coffee company.
I'd imagine there has to be some sort of base of operations, and he refuses to move from his house. So he is commuting 1,600 miles a day.
No.
By a private jet.
You're fucking.
But we gotta drink our paper straws.
Jesus Christ. No.
I'm not joking. It came out today.
Can we start shooting people now?
Just work from home. Get your fucking laptop out. Sit there with a Starbucks if you want.
Shag, have you heard of Zoom? The world has changed.
Jesus Christ.
Let me see if I can find a news article on it, because it was fucking brilliant when I was reading it earlier. Here we go. New Starbucks. This is on Sky News. New Starbucks CEO Brian Niccol to commute 1,000 miles in corporate jet. Brian Niccol could also earn up to £100 million during his first year as boss of the world's largest coffee chain. It has emerged. The firm said that Brian Niccol could continue to live at his home in Newport Beach, California, use the aircraft to travel to its offices in Seattle, Washington. Jeez. So like he's southwest, and he'd be going to right up to the top northwest.
Yeah. He's stacking up them Amex points, isn't he? That's the only reason.
I got my air miles. We're going to Cabo.
That's obscene.
When he takes a role next month, the world's largest coffee chain said the 50-year-old would be expected to work at least 3 days a week in its headquarters when not otherwise traveling for work. Critics said it undermines Starbucks' pledge to halve its carbon footprint by 2030 via economically friendly measures such as eliminating the use of plastic straws.
That's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit.
Do you have any idea how bad kerosene is for avgas is so bad for the environment? He's like, fire up the jet, Scotty.
What a bellend.
Oh, I've heard it all now.
3 days a week, the part-time cunt.
He will be paid a base salary of 1.6 million a year, but could earn up to 100 million in equity and bonuses payments in his first year. It's also been revealed.
I hope the jet crashes.
He will be also eligible for the corporate jet for business-related travel between his residence and the company's headquarters, and personal travel in accordance with the company's policies of up to $250,000 a year. Yeah. Well, there you go. It's been suffering from falling sales attributed to weaker demand amid price rises and boycotts related to the war in Gaza.
What?
Oh, yeah. Apparently, I think it's
they supplying.
They've still got chains open. They've still got shops open in Israel, from what I gather. I'm like, well, yeah.
People got a drink, haven't they?
And live.
Yeah, like
they got a war going on. You got to drink something.
You got to drink that. How do you fuel them, man?
If there's anything that can bring the Jews and the Muslims together, it's good coffee.
It's good coffee.
Okay, good coffee can bring us all together. I'll be like that Kylie Jenner advert. Remember that one? Kylie Jenner, like when all the BLM riots were going on, Pepsi made the most tone-deaf advert known to man. It was like of all these rioters kicking off, and Kylie Jenner just gets in the middle of these like riot and protesters, just starts handing out Pepsi Max to all of them, and they all just like came together, and it was like Pepsi, woo. And everyone was like, are you fucking serious?
What in the
Are you
fucking
fucking
shit is
serious?
this?
Some dude's just knelt on fucking George Floyd's neck and killed him. And Kylie Jenner's handing out Pepsis and it's all gravy. How fucking tone deaf.
Oh, we're all fucked.
That I will make a parody of that. Of just me with some really good coffee, like, hey guys, I know, Shabbat Shalom, Salam Alaikum. My friends, we can all come together over some beans. Yeah, so how was your week, Marlon, anyway? I think you've been a busy boy.
Oh, it's been fantastic.
You've been a busy boy.
It's been fantastic, mate. I haven't had a better week in... Oh, I can't remember. I don't know. When was last time? 30 years, I think. True Speed is finally in.
Oh.
It's installed.
Is it truly speedy?
It is truly speedy.
Good. How much of a mess did they make of your house?
They were fine. The bloke which come around and finished it all off even tidied up the other labourers' messes. Like,
Good.
he was a fucking lovely bloke. I won't call him out on there. You were talking about speeds earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went for... I've just had mine done.
So you went full fibre?
I went full fibre all the way from the exchange to the house, no copper. And the man that came, I told him, my friends just had this done, and they made a god-awful mess in his house, and it was True Speed that did it, and he was like, amateurs. They haven't been doing it long. Us BT boys, open reach, we're long in the tooth in this game. And he was like, see, most people would see what you've got here and just drill another hole, but I'd be clever enough to ask you, do you have Sky? And I'd be like, absolutely fucking not. And he was like, well, you've already got a hole here, so we're just going to pull the Sky cable out, cut all this sealant that somebody has just spunked on this thing by the looks of it. I'm going to drive a new cable in, and I'm just going to reseal it nicely, and you're never even going to know that I've even been here. And that was it. And I literally, he plugged in the router, right, as well. Went to effort, he unboxed the router, which I didn't even know had turned up, but he sorted that. He unboxed the router, he set the router up, and he even ran all the cables through the little hole I've got cut in the shelf that hides all the put it all like that. Even plugged my power line network back in, the whole fucking lot. Got my wife on the Wi-Fi, got her all set up. I was like, right, cheers. And I was like, did you fuck him? Did you fuck him? Then people that come to my house and do this work and everything that nice, did you suck his dick? Did you eat his asshole?
And did she? No comment.
I don't comment. He didn't make he put up after himself.
I need to offer that service next time. I went for like the big boy package because it was on a deal, wasn't it?
Well, I went
12 months.
I went 150 down, and I was like, "That's fucking plenty, mate." Because I thought that at the last one, I was like, 80. Who needs more than 80 megabytes? This is madness. And then I got really fucking bored of uploading stuff on the podcast. Mainly, it took forever, and I'm now on 150. I'm like, it's so quick. And I'm assuming you went more than that.
600.
Jesus Christ.
32 quid a month.
That's only £3 more than I'm paying. God damn
I
it.
was like, why fuck around?
Yeah, no, I get
I
that.
haven't uploaded anything yet. I will do that tomorrow and see where we're at.
When you're streaming on fucking cam horrors later.
No, I already tested that out. That's pretty decent, to be fair.
We're clicking on that 4K option on Pornhub. Let's go. I'm paying. I'm spraying.
It's just mental. It is so fast.
We are truly living in the future on this estate, aren't we?
Blow your mind, that. Blow your mind. But he didn't plug anything in. He showed me the route and went, take a picture of that. So I took a picture of it and I changed, like you change everything. You change your passwords and stuff.
Yeah.
So, do you want to know what I've called my network?
Oh. I don't know. Nate Higgers.
Uncle Rolf's LAN Down Under.
LAN. LAN. Yeah. That's really good. Is that actually...
I'll screenshot it.
Uncle Ralph's LAN Down Under.
It's got to be funny. It's got to be funny.
Brutal. The
little kids logging on to like next door's Wi-Fi or something. Uncle Rolf.
The old ones used to be like MI6 surveillance van 4 and
police van 2.
Yeah, get your own Wi-Fi and all that. But yeah, that's pretty inspired, mate. You've got props for that one.
Took me a minute to think. I was like, right, we could get Uncle Garrett. No, not Uncle Gary. Jimmy Sam, that's a bit too... What about Uncle Rolf?
Uncle Rolf.
Uncle Rolf, he's from Australia.
Land down under.
Land
I
down
like
under. Big gate dig's going good. We have broken out all the concrete. Huge shout out to Toucan and Corned Beef for all the help. Big concrete pour on Saturday.
Oh, spicy.
Yeah, looking forward to that. So a cube and a half. Big in the game, see? Big in the game.
Cube and a half, that's sort of 6 ton. No, that's about 3 ton-ish. It's got a lot. It's about 2 ton a cube-ish.
I think it's very over-engineered for a 400k sliding gate.
Yeah, but at the same time, you want to do it properly, don't you? Like
Yeah.
I'm of that opinion. Do it once, do it properly. Not the bar. This is a complete mess, but yeah, that'll be all right. We'll just keep adding shit to it.
Well, I say you start digging, it's just made out of shit.
Yeah,
Everything new
a
build is
decent
made out of
base.
shit.
You need a decent base, definitely.
You getting electric gates?
So I'm just putting a slide in for the minute, but with the pad to put a motor on.
Oh,
He's gonna have a camera set up long term with AI detection. So it will be like he'll be able to put people's faces in it that it won't open for. And I'm assuming it's going to be like me, various skin tones won't be allowed in. You know, I know what he's like. He's terrible.
You can get AMPR cameras which open them.
What?
Jesus
Number plate
Christ.
recognition?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I won't lie.
Yeah, they're really fucking expensive, as you'd imagine.
I bet there's a mad subscription on it as well. Yeah, everything's on a subscription model now.
Yeah, OnlyFans.
My
Pornhub.
glasses, they tried to talk me into a subscription model in the fucking opticians the other day. I was like, Brev,
How
can
does
you not,
that
please? Oh, it's the same as like the dentist, you know, you're like, oh, join Dem Plan for 30
they're
quid a month
fucking
and you
cunts.
get fucking nothing other than like a checkup and 10% off the 8 grand we'll charge you per tooth. Yeah, they were like, oh yeah, if you join this, you get like some money off your glasses and you get like a free eye test. And I'm like, how much is eye test? Like 50 quid. I'm like, I'll just pay for it.
Yeah, you were-
Stop trying to. Everyone wants your money every month, don't they?
Yeah.
Fixed income. I just get fucked. I can understand. I can understand why they do it, but like 18 quid a month for what? The eye test that I never ever have. Like, go away.
I thought you were going on about like the Ray-Bans.
Oh
The
no,
Ray-Ban
no.
Metas or whatever they're going.
Oh, those things.
Fucking,
yeah, they're crazy.
Just seeing the
expensive.
Matrix walking around the farm.
I just want the ones on what was it? Was it like Agent Cody Banks? Remember that? You know, what? Who? What a niche reference. Frankie Muniz.
Yeah.
He gets him and he like looks through women's clothes. I'm like, come on, we have the
We're in
technology.
2024 now.
We can build
No,
them.
I just want that invisibility cloak
What from Harry Potter?
from Potter.
Straight in the girls' changing rooms.
I just want to fuck with people.
In the gym, not in school. So I just put that in there.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, that's what I definitely meant.
absolutely. Yeah.
Imagine just moving shit around in someone's house constantly.
Great, whatever. Or just a
I'd take on
funeral,
Reg
just
all the
topple the
time.
coffin, or just oh he's alive.
This open casket, just start moving the cunts. And I'd like to round my week off with Land Rover's Reg.
No,
I know
shock
this
horror,
is a
Marlon.
thing. I told Land Rover yesterday we wouldn't be in this position if you could make a car properly.
You actually told them that.
I actually,
What,
now they don't want to speak to me.
So what? Hang on, you rang up. What did you do? Rang up the parts department, a local.
Yeah, so at this point, I'm getting fed up with this because everything is either back order, no date, no stock.
Right.
So we've got 3 Disco Sports or Evokes.
You can open up a breaker's yard at this point.
No, because it don't fucking work. I'm waiting for parts. Got 3 of those waiting for DPFs. I've got a 5 litre waiting for a oil cooler. I got a 4.2 waiting for an oil cooler.
What do you do? What do you tell the people that own the owners, like the customers?
We're sorry, it's out of our hands. We've tried to order one from Land Rover. We're on a list and it's on back order with no date. And they go, oh, I really need it next weekend. I was like, you better go and hire something.
There is nothing I can do about that. Yeah, fuck. So you
And this was the final straw. I got a Discovery 5 in, and it'd been in a little shunt. So, you know the 2 bolts which usually snap when taking the subframe out?
Mhm.
Instead of snapping them, it sheared them.
right.
So I need inserts and I need bolts.
Right.
So I rang them up. Yeah, well, there's one in the company, and the rest are back order, no date. And I was like, so I just kind of pretended they'd snap when coming apart. I was like, all right, I'll have that one. And
What, one bolt?
one insert.
Oh,
one
right.
steel collar insert.
Okay.
We wouldn't be in this predicament, would we? He's like, what do you mean?
Marlon's letting the lowest man on the trees having it.
The only reason you do this is because you saved a couple of quid
On threading the fucking...
on putting these steel inserts in the fucking first place. You used no grease when putting the subframe in. The bolts are made out of shit, and they cut their own thread. What did you expect was going to happen? And he's like, and now I can't have this fucking car off the ramp because the fix for your fuck up is out of stock with no fucking date.
Oh.
Yeah, now I'm banned from ringing the local. I lost my shit. They're like, what?
You telling me how to podcast as well? The people will hear about this injustice, Jaguar Land Rover.
What? The only reason I have like probably 10 dead cars at work is because you've made them out of shit, and now you've probably changed suppliers to cut a few more quid off it,
Yeah.
and you have no date for stock.
How difficult would it be to make these inserts and bolts yourself? There's a money angle here.
Need some skill,
I
and when they sell
have
them,
some skill,
for,
Marlon.
I think they're 9 quid each,
Jesus.
but it's not worth setting up.
Yeah,
It's-
tooling.
Fuck them.
So, yeah. Well done, you, Marlon. You've you've been banned from speaking to the one part supplier you really need to speak to.
No, the people in the office can speak to them. It's just not me.
Get your secretary to do it then.
That's right. We have a parts man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Don't let
I needed to.
You needed to get it off your chest.
Yeah.
Bit of therapy.
What?
So these things are 9 quid, right? Massive worldwide firm. So that means if they're selling for 9 quid, they must cost what, 2 quid to buy?
Probably, yeah.
Oh,
They break all
I'm
the
buying
time.
them at 10% on that, so we make a little bit.
It's probably
Right.
what it is. They probably had a certain amount in stock thinking that these things were never going to fucking break. So they're like, oh, we just have to hold a certain amount of stocks. They probably did a run of them 10 years ago when the cars first came out or whatever, somewhere around there. They probably did a run of them and they...
It's a 68 plate.
All right, but when the first ones that started going wrong, 2013, 2012, that would be the...
And it would have been
the
probably
early sports, wouldn't it? The early 494 sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 2013-ish, that sort of time.
They didn't do anything about it until 16,
There you go.
where they made this £900 kit that you've got to buy
Yeah.
to be able to tap and insert these threads.
Well, they probably did a massive run of them back then, these bolts, ordered a fuckload of them, and then all of a sudden, as time's progressed on, they've, a lot of them are breaking, they're all getting to that mileage where they are starting to snap, and they've been like, oh yeah, we better restock them at some point. Yeah, okay. Anyway, back to not making Defenders on time, and just got waylaid with something like that, and then they've been like, oh no, where did we get those bolts from? I can't remember. Oh God, wherever will we find them? And they've just
got a really good habit of letting something run out,
yeah.
and then because they think that's a bit too dear, they'll go and find another supplier.
Oh, even cheaper.
Okay.
So the 3.6 water housings on the front of the engine,
Yeah.
about 12 months ago, we waited 4 months for one.
I remember they were out of stock. No one could get one.
Yeah.
The thermostat housing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. No one could get one.
Just
People were crying out
what
for them.
a
People on eBay were selling them
fucking
used for
shit
stupid
show.
money just to get their cars back on the road. Fun
It's
then.
just so stupid. I don't understand it.
It's like
you make a shit part, and then you can't even supply the shit part to replace the shit part, so the car's off the fucking road.
what's that quote from The Big Short? It's like 2 + 2 = fish.
I just, because they must have it coming in that like people like yourself are ordering these all the time. We should probably fucking order some of these. Like,
we're running a bit low.
Yeah, that's like,
Surely the main goal is that they're not going to. if it was engine failure, you could write the car off and then someone will go buy another Land Rover, which makes more money for them. But these sort of jobs that you're working on, they're not jobs that are going to write the car off, really, are they?
Subframe out.
It's a big job, but it's not a job that's going to write the car off and make someone go buy another Land Rover. So it'd be in their best interest to have all the parts in stock, to be like, yeah, okay, the cars are really fucking unreliable. We all know that. You all knew that getting into this. But at least when it goes wrong, we've got the fucking parts.
Yeah.
You know, we've got great service backup. Everything's always bang, bang, bang. Don't worry, you're back on the road within 2 days. But it's just another reason why people are just like, why? Why should I fucking bother?
Well, exactly. Like you take it in to get repaired. If you're waiting a month, why would you ever buy another one again?
Yeah.
Unless you're crazy. You know.
Hey, hello.
Hey.
A lot of crazy people, mate.
Been here for a while.
That was a case.
That's more like it.
You puffed us.
Yeah, I just jazz handed him.
It's kind of understretched and just kind of like did like a little weird roll onto my hand.
Don't worry, Kieran. No, I do have your timing chain in stock, ready to rock.
Thank you very much. It's on constant monitoring.
The other thing that's sort of worth mentioning is if one day we stop talking about how bad Land Rovers are, you know that we haven't taken a sponsorship from Land Rover, but we have been paid hush money. And we, all of a sudden, Marlon buys 4 Escorts, Reg buys a new house and 4 Defenders. And all of a sudden, another week, Land Rovers are just fine.
Fantastic, huge, beautiful. Don't buy one. And if you do buy one, don't fucking bring it to me.
We won't even declare the sponsorship. Fuck it. When we upload the podcast, it's like, is there paid promotion in this show? Absolutely not.
Massive
Just-
JLR logo. Oh, fucking there's one there.
So it literally says Land Rover parts and service are shit. I can say what I want. I've bought enough of the fucking things.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all in all,
Fantastic fucking week, mate. Yeah, how's your been?
mine's been good, mate. Yeah, it's been pretty sound. Like I said about the broadband's all sorted now, but that's fucking boring. What I can finally talk about, Marlon, as I said it on the last show, I'm sure everyone was itching
Knocking a
to
sandwich
hear.
and I'll take with, like.
Is it that button?
Nope.
No, it's. He's thinking real hard. It's not looking good, Brev.
Not looking good.
It gave you too many buttons, mate. That's
Yeah.
the problem. Is
It's not looking good, Bev. It's not looking good.
I was looking for the fucking horns, but
yeah.
no.
So
Sorry.
I've mentioned it. Like I think I mentioned it a couple of years ago, something like that, and then I mentioned it last episode. It's done. It's all done. I've been embroiled in a legal matter for the last nearly 4 years.
It's all to do with nonsense.
Actually, I was not the defendant. I was the claimant in this case. So obviously, I omit certain details because that doesn't need to be out there. That's personal. But nearly 4 years ago, I was walking my 3 dogs. This was back when I had Vince, so it was that long ago. I was walking Vince and Bailey and Norman with my wife, and we always used to walk the 2 little dogs at the front and Vince would be at the back. Mainly because you probably heard, if you've ever heard me cussing a lot and really going over the top about people that have their dogs off the leads and have no control over them, this is why. So I always used to walk Vince at the back and let my wife walk in front with the 2 little dogs. Mainly because, not because I don't trust my dogs, I trust my dogs implicitly. I don't trust other people with their dogs at all. I have faith in myself and my training of my dogs and 0 of anyone else's. So the reason I walked him at the back is because if anyone else had their dog off the lead and it wasn't overly friendly or whatever, and it came over to Vince, the 2 little ones, I'm not too worried. I could simply kick it away or whatever. But if Vince got together with another animal and he felt threatened and they were aggressive towards him, he could most likely end that animal's life.
They'd be chow mein.
Due to his size, and of course, being a bull breed, an American bulldog looks very scary and menacing. It would always be him at fault, no matter what dog it was, whether it was the yappy little Chihuahua that bit Vince first. If he if he retaliates and kills it, yeah, he's on the hook and he's getting put down. So I was always really conscious of this because he was like he was my boy, and I didn't want anything to happen to him and anything bad. So we're walking our dogs one evening. And a collie comes running out of somebody's, what I assume to be driveway at the time, comes out barking, yapping, snarling at my 2 little dogs that are in front. And my wife goes, "Dog, get back." And the dog's coming towards her and the 2 little ones. She's walking back towards me. I initially think I'll start walking back as well, and I am walking back, but at a slower rate than her. So I am slow. She's going to come past me, and I'm going to get in front of her because I'm going to protect my wife and the 2 little dogs because this dog is bigger than the 2 little ones. And I'm like, this dog isn't going to go away with. I was like, fuck off, shouting and going. Didn't go anywhere. And yeah, so this dog comes over. I get in front. The dog comes up to Vince. Vince is obviously like, don't you fucking try anything. Stood there just like, Dog comes over, bites Vince. They get interlocked. And of course, I'm like, shit. This dog, by the way, there is no one in sight. There is no owner anywhere to be seen. And my wife is shouting, come and get your fucking dog. Just screaming it, hoping that someone's going to realise. Because the dog's got a harness on, but no lead. So it's all very...
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So it's all very weird. And we're
off.
shouting. And the dogs, Vince and this other dog get together after he bites Vince. And they're together. And obviously I'm like, shit. Vince is 10 at this time, 10, 11. So he's arthritic as fuck. And although I'm...
Also slightly arthritic.
Yeah. I'm fairly confident that Vince could do some serious damage to this dog, but at the same time, I am thinking, what if this other dog does, do some serious damage to my dog? And not only that, my wife, her dogs, myself, and I'm like, shit. So the dog, luckily, dog's got a harness on, and I'm sort of bent over, separating the 2. Vince, I'm like, get the fuck off him, and he pulls back, and this other dog's still got like hold of Vince, and I managed to separate them, still shouting, come and get your dog, come and get your dog. And in that sort of madness, I haven't realised that I've been bitten, but I've not realised that. And a woman comes out and she just kind of stands there and doesn't really do anything. And I'm like, my wife is screaming, get your fucking dog. In the end, she comes and gets the dog off of me. I'm holding the 2 dogs apart. And she takes the dog inside. The owners come out. Half the fucking neighbourhood come out, blah, blah, blah. And they're all like, oh my God, so sorry, la, la, la. Do you want to come in for like a coffee and a tissue? And I'm like, this is height of COVID. So I'm like, no, I'm just going to go. And I turn around and we're under like a street light-ish. It's not very well lit. And one of the neighbours over the road, I sort of look round at him and he goes, holy fuck, dude, you need to get a hospital. And I was like, no, it's fine, man, it's fine, it's good. Don't worry about it. And he's like, no, you need to go to hospital. I was like, I'm sure I'll be fine, whatever it is. Like, no real idea of what's happened. Get home. Get in the kitchen. Look at Vince. He's fine. He a little bit sort of, everything's adrenaline's pumping for him. Adrenaline's pumping for me and the wife.
Let's go back. Let's get him.
Yeah, and he went to sleep. He came back in and he went to bed. The tired fucker. Turned the light on, and my wife takes one look at me and goes, oh, "We do need to go to hospital." And I was like, "All right, cool." She was like, "Do you want to see?" And I was like, "Well, adrenaline's pumping. I don't really feel much, so." Yeah, okay. And she takes a picture, and I'll upload the pictures to the Discord so everyone can see them. I'll see if I can find them on here quickly while I'm talking. And she turns the light on, and essentially what's happened is the collie has, in separating these 2 dogs, the collie has not jumped up, but lurched forward, and he's bitten me on the face.
It looked horrendous.
It was not pretty, I won't lie. So we're obviously like, right, okay, off to A&E we go. And we're height of COVID at this point, obviously. So you imagine A&E, and this is sort of in the winter time. We get there. When was it? It was. Trying to find it now. I can't bloody find the pictures. Anyway, I'll find them in a minute. Get to A&E. I'm obviously wearing a mask. So they're like, yeah. I'm like, I've been bitten by a dog. It's like cut my face. Go in there, sit down, take the mask off. The woman goes, oh, we can't do that. And I was like, what? I was just hoping some glue, steri strip, something like that, pull it back together, be okay. She was like, no, that's you need a facial surgeon to see that, mate. And I was like, what? And because what it was, it had cut me from the bottom of my nose nearly all the way down to the bottom of my lip, and it had gone not quite full thickness, but enough that if I'd smiled too hard, it would have split all the way through.
Jesus.
She was like, we need to, you're going to need to see a facial surgeon. I was like, why? And she was like, well, because we do
fuck drive.
She was like, we do stitching, but we don't do that kind of stitching. And I was like, yeah, right. And she was like, because if we don't stitch it up correctly and we do we'll stitch up an arm, we'll stitch up anything because it ain't got to be overly pretty. We stitch that up wrong, your lip is not going to line up and it's going to look like you've got a cleft lip for the rest of your life and you'll have to have more surgery to have it fixed. facial surgeon will be able to do that. I was like, oh, okay. She was like, where do you want to go? Where's closest for you? I was like, she was like, Yeovil or Taunton. I was like, oh, Yeovil? And she goes, okay, no worries. And she goes to the computer and she goes, well, actually, you'll go where the facial surgeon is because there's only one of them on tonight and she's in Taunton. I was like, okay, cool. We'll go to Taunton.
We'll get it done.
To be fair to them, got there straight away. I was like, I've been referred by the local A&E. And she was like, yeah, no, that's fine. Go on through there. Went on through. She was like, oh, that's a good one, isn't it? And I was like, yeah. She was like, just let you know, you're going to have a scar and it's going to suck. I was like, cool, thanks. So yeah, I had 5 internal stitches, 4 external stitches to put my lip and sort of like upper mustache area all back together. Yeah, so that was that. And I was like, oh, fuck, that's pretty shit. Not great. And then afterwards, it sort of, the dust settles. And I'm not one of these claiming fuckers. But I was like, do you know what? This is bullshit. I missed out on a load of work. Probably, I think it was 2 days. I had a load of sort of freelance work lined up. And I ripped my jogging bottoms and I ripped my Alpha Industries coat, which I love. And you know what I'm like in the winter, Marlon? That's the only,
live in it.
I live in that coat in the winter, and I was very angry about this. And I was like, do you know what? If it was a genuine, like, oh, you know, whatever, I was like, this is just pure negligence. Fuck them. You know, this is just, the dog is loose. The dog's fucking gone for my dog and ended up biting me due to their just
Yeah.
I say this because I'm not trying to act like a holier than thou dog owner. I'm so conscious of my dogs being, you know, in my care on the lead. And the thing is, I have full trust in like my dogs being off the lead, but I don't trust everyone else's dogs, and that's why they stay on the lead all the way around the estate, all the way whenever I'm walking them. Unless I'm on the farm, then they're off the leads because, you know, they're freedom. It's I know where they are. They're not going to stray. There's no threats. And I was like, this is bullshit. This is just pure negligence. And I've ended up with this due to someone else just fucking having this sort of belief that their dog is fine. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I got in touch with, I sought legal counsel.
Can't say, we'll take it away.
Yeah, that's the ones. And they were like, yeah, no, definitely. It's like,
injury lawyers
like,
for you?
Yeah, straight up. Like, this is absolutely fair. And I was like, end of the day, like, I ain't looking for much. You know, just literally, I ain't looking to I ain't looking to have the dog put down. That's why I didn't ring the police, because I didn't want the dog put down, because end of the day, dog's a cunt, but it's not a dog's fault. It should have been the owners to have taken more care.
Pay for me coat and a couple of days off work. Really,
this is what I said to the solicitors, but you know what solicitors are like. So I was just like,
we're taking his house.
Yeah.
So they went through the whole hoo-ha, and they obviously got in touch with the people whose dog it was, and they were like, no, it's fine. It'll all be covered under their house insurance. So, you know, blah, blah, blah. No, we're not actually suing them personally. This is not, we generally, how they work is they just obviously claim from the insurance, and that's how it all works. And I was thinking, oh, fairly easy then. They were like, yeah, really? I mean, sounds pretty solid. I was like, cool, all right. And this, as I said, dragged on for nearly 4 years, mainly due to the fact, obviously, their insurance is very much like, no, we're not doing that. We're not paying. And they were, the people whose dog it was also very, no. Our dog is an angel. Would never do that. It was completely my fault with my dogs on a walk with them all on leads and their dog off a lead, not in sight of them, under no one's control. It was my fault, apparently.
Are you always at a disadvantage because your dog was bigger?
No, luckily that never actually came into it, which I was really surprised at. And I really thought that somebody was going to pull on he's got a big, aggressive American Bulldog. Is it a banned breed? No, it's not.
Because I think that's what kind of irritates me a lot more about this, is that all the big dogs get a bad name. But I've had a dog before, and the only ones that picked on him were the yappy little cunts.
I've only ever in my
is a foot tall, and he has a terrible fucking attitude problem. he will pick on the biggest dog around.
Fuck it, that's the bollocks.
The only dogs I've ever been bitten by, me and my wife have ever been bitten by, is dash hounds and collies. I'm not saying like they're all bad, but I'm saying that that's the experience I've had. So I've always been wary about it. And then when I seen this collie coming out, I was like, oh, here we go. This is going to go well, isn't it? So yeah, obviously pretty much 3 years of them saying, no, not us, them, not us, them. My dog's an angel. They're useless dog owners and they're lying and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, yeah, bro. The records from the hospital and the pictures and the like assessments that I've had, they're not lies. That's real. What that is.
Yeah.
And then they tried to claim that my dog did it to me, and I was like, my dog has never turned a lip at anyone in his whole life. He has been nothing but an angel. And And I was like, I was kind of proud saying that because he was a massive bulldog. And I was like, no, not once has he ever been aggressive to any person ever in his whole life. And obviously, my word against theirs. But what was interesting, and I'll be a little bit vague about this, but they submitted as like evidence, as you'd say, to my solicitors, a training manual that they have for their dog. They had sent their dog off to training at some point in its life, in its early life, I think. And in the training manual it was like fucking like 20, 40 pages long, something like that. Enormous training manual.
Sounds like a concentration camp.
Submitted the whole thing to basically be like, look at all this stuff. Look at all this training. Who trained his dog? Where's his training? And I'm like, his training is me. I didn't have to. My dog wasn't such an asshole that had to be sent off for dog
professional help.
I was like, my dog stays on a fucking lead whenever I walk it, and it does what I tell it to do. And when it's off a lead, it's of no interest to anyone else. It's on private ground. That's the end of that. That's how it's trained. Okay, it's a farm dog. It's perfectly behaved. It didn't need training. You don't have to come at me with, who trained his dog? Like, fuck off. So read the training manual, and in the training manual, it said that their dog, I couldn't believe they submitted it. It was like, we'll get him, as they point a gun at their own head. It said that the dog showed aggressive and territorial behaviours, and just basically exactly what they can show aggressive and territorial behaviours in times of high stress. And I'm like, if a dog walking on the same path as him is aggressive and high stress, I'm like, your dog needs work, mate. It needs more than training.
Yeah. Keep the cunt on the lead to start with.
So that was that, and then I think it dragged on for a long time. It was only in the last sort of 3 months that that my solicitors, they put out a I don't know to say too much, but they put out some feelers, and somebody wrote back to say, yeah, I know that fucking dog, and it is a cunt. And I was like, oh, shit.
Let's fucking go!
Obviously not those exact words, but something to the effect of, yes, I've had issues with that dog. Yes, I know the dog. Basically, I think it was like 2 A4 pages of him just moaning and berating about how much of a problem this dog has been. And I was like, oh, no. Oh, this is the one. This is it. Anyway, unfortunately, never needed to go that far, because just as we'd got that signed statement from someone to say, basically, this dog, yes, I've had trouble with it, yes, and I think he said I had warned something along the lines, no, not verbatim here, I'd said that the dog was an issue, and that if he didn't do anything about it, it was going to cause problems and somebody was going to get hurt. And I was like, ooh, that's not good for you. Anyway, and then I don't know if my solicitors sort of said, look, we have something that is very, not good for you if this goes any further and if it does go to court.
It's not looking good, Bev. It's not looking good.
And shortly after that, they offered a settlement, and that was that. And I won't lie, it's not a life-changing amount of money. It's obviously and it doesn't, I've said all this, but the settlement is not an admission of guilt, I should say. What I have said is from my own point of view and my opinion on the matter. So they basically said, look, this is we advise that we don't go to court because it just, you could not win. It's high stress. You've got to go in the witness box. You've got to be taken apart by the opposing counsel and basically have you and your now dead dog's character pulled to pieces. It's not great. It does it. The success rate in court is you don't. They said we have something like they said it was 75% chance of success in court, but at the same time you might lose, and that's going to suck, and you're just going to feel like great. Now they have literally said, no, you were at fault, and they weren't at fault, and fuck you.
You'd have to look at their fucking smarmy face.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure their dog is now dead. So I'm not saying that's a good thing. I don't. At the end of the day, that's their dog, and I don't. I don't want anyone to lose their dog. It sucks,
I do.
Well, you can think what you want, Kieran. But yeah, I think it sucks losing a dog, and they are a family member, regardless if it's a fucking been asshole to me or caused me damage as shit. But I'm pretty sure the dog's dead now, so it's not really going to be a problem. Either that, or I just don't see it anymore in the where I go to walk dogs. But yeah, and that was it. So I took the settlement and that's that. And it's finally over. And I probably could have spoken about this beforehand, but if for some reason this got somewhere and they were like, oh, you said this on a podcast and this happened. And I'm like, well, I just fucking, said the wrong thing.
Yeah,
they'd find anything, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, no, I took a settlement. It's like I said, it's not a life-changing amount of money by any means, but it was more than what I wanted initially, and it was never about the money. I really wanted an admission of guilt, but they were like, look, you're just never going to get that unless you go to court. And she said 97% of these cases never get to court. What I have realised in the whole thing, though, is that the reason it's taken, my theory of as to why it's taken 3.5 years is because it's just a big scheme. It's just a big scheme where solicitors just go backwards and forwards with each other on both sides, and they're all in on it. And fair play to them. I'm not taking anything away from them. They're just
this is £120 for this letter.
They're just putting in more and more and more billable hours either way, and whoever kind of loses pays both sides legal bills because I don't pay them. And I'm not going to say a number, but I can tell you it was more than 10 times my settlement what my legal bill was. More than 10 times. So yeah, you can make your own inferences to that. If it was £1,000, it was more than 10 grand. I mean, the other side's because they've obviously offered to settle. Well, so put it this way: somebody's paying and I ain't. I'm assuming it's the defendant's
house insurance.
House insurance.
I didn't even realise that kind of thing would be covered under house insurance.
Yeah, it's because you'll have legal cover, won't you? With
presumably, yeah. If they've got it tagged on, I guess it depends
most people
on the policy.
do have legal cover.
Asshole dog coverage.
If you think about it, like if anything was to happen, say a roofing tile fell off my house and hit someone, you kind of you think you'd have legal
After
cover.
you'd stopped laughing, you'd.
Well, luckily I had all my hip tiles rebedded because it was getting to a point after a storm where I was like, I might need that legal house insurance cover in a minute. So I rang the builders and had it done very sharpish. But yeah, so that's that. And I will, like I said, I will upload some pictures of what happened to my face. It's not horrendously gruesome, but
it's pretty nasty. Yeah,
it's a scar that I've got for life now, and it does suck. Luckily, you can't really see it because I am able to grow a mustache.
I was going to say you can't see it, and you're still devilishly handsome.
Oh, stop it, Mike. I won't be able to fit out the door. Mule will be raging listening to this. Don't fucking tell him that. He's a cunt.
Sorry, Mule. Piers, can I put
I
your
did
car
have a
in?
funny message the other day. So we were taking out that big lump of concrete.
Yeah.
And Agri Mick, it was actually, said, just get Reg round, he'll drop his ego on it.
I like that a lot. Yeah, I can't seem to find any pictures of it at the moment, but it sucked. You saw it, didn't you, Marlon?
Yeah, no, it was quite nasty.
It was, yeah, it's not something, I mean, the thing is, if it had happened to my wife and it was a facial scar, oh my God, I would have gone up one fucking wall.
Yeah, Dole wouldn't look right with a mustache.
Not at all. Oh, was it then? I'm trying to work out when
it on.
It was, I think it was pre-podcast.
It was, yeah, definitely pre-podcast.
It was. Oh, it
just
was
after Christmas.
That's right. It was earlier than I thought. Yeah, you're right. Oh, hang on. I think I've got some. I think I might have some pictures of it here somewhere.
Before the fame, you could have went Johnny Depp on him, couldn't you?
Yeah, there you go. That's a picture of it.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it was a big old, because that was the thing. It looks like that, and when I saw it, I initially just thought, oh, that's just like dried blood or something. And then I realised that it was
parting, innit?
It was a proper hole. That was it the next day. Look at it.
Fucking
it's all blown up and hideous.
Some 41 on that, haven't you? That's Jesus. Fucking hell.
Look like a fucking Kylie Jenner.
Look at me, I look so unhappy. It was so uncomfortable, and I've got no sensation there anymore. Like it's gone through a nerve or something.
Oh my God.
And so I've got no. Like
Dole's suffering
on the
for life now.
Yeah, like from the center of my lip to the sort of like nearly the corner, just got nothing there. So
Jesus Christ,
got to be a bit careful with the old straight blade when I'm cutting around doing the old mustache lines. Look at that sad man. Look how sad he is.
Just
I look like I'm
Botox.
I'm so sad about my face. I was very sad about my face for quite a while. I couldn't talk properly.
I've had things done with me lip before. They've had to take like a gland out or something. And the problem is when it's trying to heal, because you fucking use your lips, funnily enough, all the time, it just reopens all the time, doesn't it?
Yeah,
did you find that?
Yeah, luckily she'd stitched it together so tightly and so well that it never actually opened again. But she did say after the stitches were out, it's susceptible to tear, and again in the same place for like 6 months or something, because it's so the tissue there is so weak. Luckily, I don't know if you can see now, there is like ever so slightly like a line on my lip.
Oh, very, 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 very.
Yeah, like when it's
slightly.
when it's like hot or cold, it's really pronounced. But like room temperature, you don't really notice it. But yeah, it took me a while, and also it like took me a minute or two to like talk properly again, because obviously it'd been so fucking fucked up, and then I couldn't feel it very well. It was a little
And since
bit.
then, he hasn't stopped talking.
It's good I do a podcast, isn't it, mate? Got to fill them 2 hours somehow, even if it's with my bullshit stories. So yeah, that was that's it. That's not a what do I do for a living, like big secret that goes on forever. But yeah, it's all done now. It's yeah, my advice is just be wary, guys. If fucking you got people that you know that walk their dogs off leads and the dogs aren't too great, just make sure yours is on a lead. So when it all comes to if anything were to happen, you can go, ha, my dog's on a lead. Fuck yourself. This might take 4 years to come to the end, but we'll get there.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know, mad, isn't it? Right, should we cut to a break, Marlon, and get drinking a week out and carry on with the rest of this madness?
Let's do it.
Right. Just before we go, a massive shout out to the sponsor of the show, VanMasters. Marlon VanMasters. Big up to VanMasters for sponsoring the show. Marlon, please tell me again about how helpful VanMasters have been with the build of your T5 Transport. Jesus, don't hurt me.
Don't call it dust insulting. Just, if you have an idea, give it a Kyle. He'll come out trumps. He knows he's done so many of these. He knows where to put things. He knows how to wire things. He knows what's going to work best for you in your situation. Are you just going to be a temporary van life, or are you going full time? He's done it all. He knows where to put things. He knows how to wire everything in, from solar to DC-DCs to magic boxes.
Magic boxes that Marlon doesn't understand.
It's like a switch panel. It's magic. Sinks, gets all the plumbing done. Toilets, showers, like solar, next level.
The other thing is, like, it's like you say, day van. What are you going to use it for? Day van, full van, everything. For it's a full conversion or just something you want to take away down to the beach for a day. Scribble something on the back of a fag packet and say, like, this is what I want. He's like, oh, don't worry. What about if we did this and this and this and this? He's done so many of them that he knows the best way the best places to put stuff. Using, especially with a van,
space management.
Yes, using every part of the van to its full potential to make the most of storage, installation, like where to put, like when you were on about where you put the battery stuff, electrical stuff. He was like, oh, there you go. The best place to go on the eggs. You won't even notice
That's
it. It's still
you
accessible.
put it underneath the seat. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Exactly. So whether it's full conversions, partial conversions, even just down to like van lining and whether is it the lining, lighting and insulation, VanMasters have got you covered. With your bed, Marlon, when you had to go at building it yourself, it was good. Don't get me wrong.
It worked.
It was worked, and I was very, very proud of what you built. And then you were like,
was not practical.
Yeah, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. So what did you do?
Call it, Carl.
And what did he make you?
He suggested we do a slide out, which is a little pull outside with a little bit on the end to prop your feet up. That thing, you can put it away in 10 seconds. You can pull it out in 10 seconds. It's set up. It's bosh. It's done. Whereas before, you had to move everything out of the way. It was a 10-minute fucking hoo-ha.
Hoo-ha.
And I've seen a lot recently on Facebook, especially from the van groups. Vans setting on fire because people have put stuff in themselves and they don't understand it.
I saw something about that recently. Some bloke was bitching and moaning about one of his cables had he was moaning about the company that made the box or whatever, or the system, and he's like, the cable's melted. And I'm like, dude, that is your fault because you are an idiot, because for some reason they will sell these to the public and let them have a go.
Yeah, like you've got cable rated for 25 amps, yet you're running a 50 through it. It's going to melt. It's going to go really wrong. Whereas VanMasters, they know all their cabling fucking diagrams and shit.
And shit.
They are professional. You will not have a problem. Your van will not burn down.
And the thing is, even if you just bought a Transit, completely bare bones, and all you've got is a van and a dream, VanMasters can make that a reality for you. Just let them know what you want to do, and they can take it from there. And they can build you
Dream van.
The dream van, there is no end, no end. I'm trying to think there's a saying, isn't there? The world is your oyster, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? There is no end to what VanMasters can build for you. So get in touch with them for all of your van conversion needs, whether it be supplying, fitting, full custom builds, or even if it's just, like you say, lighting, sound editing, and insulation. They've got you covered. So big up to VanMasters for sponsoring this episode. Check out VanMasters. Links in the episode description. Links in the bio. Right, we're going to go get Drink of the Week, and we will be back shortly. We love you, love you, love you. Bye, 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 bye. And we're back from the fridge. Sorry, I was too busy looking at this amazing drink of the week. We're back from the fridge. Marlon, what have we got?
We have the new Thatcher's Juicy Apple.
I tell you what, I'm not a man that travels far for drink, but I had to go to Morrison's to get this. They're the only people that had it.
Wells.
Yeah, I had to go to Wells to go get it.
Brother.
I was, Keith told me he'd had it, and I said, where'd you get it? He's like, Morrison's. So I see loads of people trying it. Man Cave Bartender obviously got sent it by Thatcher's. We didn't. I don't know why.
Thatcher's, fuck you.
So we had to buy it with our own money. Join the Patreon. Yes. So yeah, I'm really excited. Thatcher's haven't brought out a new cider for a long time. Not since they brought out the Blood Orange and all that goodness. And obviously tried all them. And yeah, I'm really intrigued. I've got high hopes. Thatcher's haven't really made a bad cider in a long time in my mind. So yeah, without any further ado, Marlon, read the marketing bullshit.
It's really difficult because it's on a very
really
brightly coloured can.
Badly printed.
Thatcher's Juicy Apple Cider is a mouth-wateringly crisp, juicy cider with sweetness bursting through and a fresh, appley aroma. It's a delicious blend of sun-drenched dessert apples made at our family farm. We are powered by 100% renewable energy, fact. Gluten-free, fact. Suitable for celiacs, fuck them. Vegans and vegetarians, fuck them as well. It is safest not to drink alcohol when pregnant pussies, contain sulfites for freshness, and fuck off.
Right. Let's see what we think then. Ooh.
It smells like white lightning.
Oh. Wow. That's different. Oh, I'm sad.
Brother.
Oh, I was really hoping that was going to be mind-blowingly good.
It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good.
It's not looking good one bit, bruv. No, I don't think that's going to last. If that's still on the shelves...
That's horrible.
If that's still on the shelves in 12 months' time, I'll be amazed.
It tastes like gone-off apples.
It's too sweet.
No pink ladies in there, is
But it doesn't... No, not a pink lady in sight.
Pink lady in sight.
I wonder what cider would taste like if you made him out of pink ladies.
Fucking banging.
It'd be... It'd be fucking expensive, wouldn't it? £3 for 6, the bastards.
£3 for 6.
Not there's poor people apple shit. Fucking minimum wage apples. Fucking lunchbox fillers. Give me them pink ladies. I want them to have more air miles on it than fucking Taylor Swift.
Absolutely. None of them austerity apples.
Fucking Labour apples.
They're unionising. My God.
Reg, that's fucking awful.
Yeah, it sucks. I'm really sad.
It doesn't even...
Not gonna lie, you look at the can, you're like, that is gonna slap. It's... Oh, there's something there, isn't there? There's something that I've tasted before and I don't like it. It's got a shitty aftertaste. Tell you what it is. There's a sweet that they make that tastes like that, isn't there? Like an apple flavoured sweet. And it's something...
It tastes like wank apple tango.
Yes. Yeah.
With
That's like, it. Thank you.
Musty.
You know, like that cheap that cheap, austerity apple juice. That's what it tastes like. That fucking shitty, horrible Tesco's
value
Tesco's value from concentrate. That's apple juice
syrup.
Yeah,
shit.
like not the what is it, Capella's apple juice, whatever it is. The big
good stuff, the cloudy shit.
the Gucci apple juice. It comes in that real nice bottle that don't fit anywhere in a fucking fridge, but it's banging.
Apple juice.
That tastes like that.
that.
That tastes like the shit that you would get at like a school party or whatever. Like,
why are you still going to school parties?
Keep one eye on the kids. Thug life. Gotta make sure the kids are all right.
Not with this shit, they're not.
Yeah, it tastes like cheap alcoholic apple juice, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. If it was between that, I love cider, and it's not that I don't like beer, but if it was between that and Guinness, I'd drink Guinness. If it was between that and
Pond water.
I don't know, what do I really not like? Like John Smith's or something like a Boddington's. It would be a close call. I'm not going to lie. That's not great. You think that'd be a really good festival cider, but it's not. It looks like it's festival ready, doesn't it? It's got that whole summery
teal.
Also, why would you bring this
apples.
out not at the start? Why would you bring this out at the end of summer?
Poor marketing.
Doing a Jaguar, and then they've just got them back.
I tell you what, mate. I'm glad I picked up a 4-pack and nearly bought a keg of it because our suppliers just now got it in, and I was like, ooh, and I was like, no, don't commit yourself to something you haven't.
Yeah.
Don't commit yourself.
Imagine putting a keg on.
You'd make me drink it. You'd be
oh no, you've bought in now.
You'd be like,
You got to finish that.
You'd be like the what is it? The head mistress in what's that bloody not Annie, the other one in Matilda. You'd be like, come on, finish it. You wanted it, didn't you? You fat little shit. You cider stinking prick. You will finish it. Marlon, please. I'm 99% apples.
Shit apples at that.
Yeah, so
I don't like it. I really don't like it.
I don't like it either. Kieran, what are your thoughts?
I wonder if the can comes with a warning. It says powered by sunshine, and I feel like doesn't that what those spacker buses usually have? You know what I mean? Like
I was gonna make spacker buses.
I don't know. It's only redeeming quality for me. I hate cider anyway, so it's always gonna be a bit biased because you grow up, just have a lager, innit?
Cheers, mate.
Sorry, it's just because I've not found what I like. But the only redeeming quality is it's cold.
Yeah,
And I think that's it.
Yeah,
I'd rather have a tango or an apple ties if I'm,
that is bougie.
Yeah.
Ooh, apple ties. Ooh, yeah. It was coming those stupid like 200ml bottles. It cost like £4 in
Glass bottles as well.
Glass, yeah.
Yeah, so the overarching thing is not bueno, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to try it and tell us that we're wrong, but I think we're probably right. So where are we at out of 5?
I'm not a 1. It's fucking horrible. I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna put that down there.
I'm gonna join you on a 1, Marlon. That sucks, and I'm really sad because I love Thatcher's and everything that they do. And I said they haven't made a bad cider yet, but it turns out they have. So
yeah, 1 as well. I mean, maybe you could rescue it, pour it in with some pork chops, and like just. I don't know. Yeah,
maybe cooking with
pork,
maybe
it's
cooking cider.
Maybe it's cooking cider.
Well, they say you should never cook with wine. You should never cook with wine you wouldn't drink. So
I can't cook with this then. Yeah, fuck.
No. So that's sad. Well, I'm sorry, Thatcher's. No, this is a swing and a miss.
You fucked up.
You fucked up. I was half tempted to drink one on the way home as well, just to get a flavour for it. But I was like, no. Honest reaction on the show. No previews. So, yeah, all right, that sucks. That's 1 out of 5 for Thatcher's Juicy Apple.
That's the first time that's happened in a while.
Yeah, it is. That's a full 1 out of 5 as well. I won't give it a 0. Nothing. No, only like stuff that is completely horrendous.
Buck fast.
Yeah, no, I like the butt fast. I finished the bottle, I think. I can't remember.
Look, just grow up and drink lager, mate.
He's never going to let go of that now. You know that, Kieran. Cheers, mate.
You better get Kieran a glass as well.
Yeah, it's better, actually. Right, before we get back into the show, massive shout out to KLJ Services.
Go on, Care.
You better listen up, ladies and gentlemen. Especially those of you with horse boxes, trailers, flatbeds of all sorts. It's not just horse boxes, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a flatbed at home, and you're chucking stuff in it all the time. You know, you're chucking heavy stuff in it, whether it's bulk, whether it's machinery, whether it's kit, whatever.
Or gates.
Yeah, or anything. You know, the floors on these things, they are only made out of marine ply. So they do have, if they're not checker, they're marine ply, and they do have a finite lifespan. Believe it or not, because 99% of you, much like me, keep your trailers outside. After a while, the plywood is going to deteriorate and turn to mush. Like I've said in the past, check your horse boxes, check your trailers, check your floors, especially the ramps on horse boxes. You would be amazed by how many of them have turned to mush.
Are the ramps even made out of...
Oh yeah, they're all. It's the whole thing is like it's all skinned, or like alley skin, and then it's plywood in the middle. Most of them, if not all of them. When you're putting a horse that weighs 400-500 kilos in your back of your horse box, and you're just kind of assuming that the floor's all right because it looks fine because you've got a big rubber mat over it. Probably not. It's imperative that you get this looked after. And if you do find any soft spots, whether it be in the sides, whether it be in the floor, whether it be in the ramp or the other ramp at the front, can't remember, I'm not a horsey person, but
The front ramp.
the front ramp, yeah, the exit ramp, shall we call it? You need to get in touch with the sponsor of our episode, this episode, KLJ Services. Cannot thank them enough for sponsoring the show. He does everything when it comes to trailers and more, whether it be brakes, whether it be wheel bearings, whether it's a replacement hitch you need, even if your boot is gone on the hitch itself, which is actually the rubber gator. Is gator a word for it?
Gator is the correct word.
Whether if your jockey wheel threads have all gone to shit and a damn thing won't stay still. I've seen it enough. I've
seen so many bent jockey wheels.
Yeah, that's it. You think you've tightened it up, it hasn't tightened up. You go down the road, the jockey wheel drops down, you haven't realised, and it's made a complete mess of things. Stuff like this can be a real pain to fix yourself. It's often easier and cheaper and saves you a lot less of a headache than getting someone in like KLJ Services.
I imagine going to the trailer and you got half the electrics on one side's working and the other side's completely dead. What are you going to do, Reg?
You're going to get in touch with KLJ Services. You know, I know electrics-ish. You know electrics a lot more than me. But when it comes to trailer electrics, it may as well be quantum mechanics as far as I'm concerned.
Wizardry.
It is absolute wizardry. If you've left a horse box or trailer parked up for 11 months of the year and, someone's left the handbrake on, or, guess what, the wheel bearings are seized, or, hang on a minute, those tyres are looking a little bit perished, all things that can cause problems on the road. And if you've got a trailer on, 99% of the time, you're going to probably have something either very expensive or very important to you in or on the back of it. So it is imperative to get these things checked out and serviced and repaired as they need them. Even some of the newer Eiffel Williams style horse boxes, they're all starting to show their age in places now. So, like I said, get them serviced and get them repaired where they need to be. KLJ Services cover everything from trailers to light commercial, light agricultural. If you need a telehandler servicing, whether you need a trailer servicing, or whether you need a tractor servicing, garden tractors, smaller stuff, bigger stuff, KLJ Services can hook you up. Check them out. Link in the episode description. A link in the bio. Massive shout out to KLJ for sponsoring this episode. Right. Let's fucking go, boys. Right. KEIR. We have a new KEIR, don't we?
I knew this was going to go. This was going to be fucking no politics, right?
What's it's not looking good, Brev.
It's not looking good, Bev. It's not looking good.
Bring all your dinghies over.
No, that's not. We're not getting into that.
Oh, right.
We're not getting into that.
Well, you fucking started it.
No, I was. I'm only talking about. I was interested to speak to Kieran about what the how do you think it's going to go? I know you can't see into the future, but you've probably got a better idea than I do. How do you see things going? What do you think things are like now? Obviously, you got a lot of people. You know a lot of people in business. They're all your clients. They always go over after medium-sized business, don't they? Yeah. And small business as well.
Yeah, I mean, if the past is anything to go by, typically Labour like to spend, but this time there's no money to spend. So
because COVID took it all.
Yeah, so they have to raise taxes somehow. I know in the manifesto. Sorry, happy Friday, everyone. Their manifesto, when they sort of said that we won't raise income tax, VAT, or corporation tax. So there's only a few other ones they can kind of attack, which is like pensions. They can raid your pensions. They can kill your granny off. But you know, it's fucking ill people have had it all right. So fucking bin those cunts off.
We'll take away their
fucking heating allowance.
Taking away the heating allowance.
Yes, well, you know, I don't know. It'd be controversial, but you know, if you can't afford to heat yourself after you fucking live for 70 years, just fucking bin the cunt off for that. It's not great, you know. I'm only kidding, but yeah, so potentially they could go after like capital gains tax. They think, which is for my clients. If you know, problem is, it's difficult. My side, some people think, oh, rich people selling their businesses, but behind that rich person selling a business is someone who's not slept for weeks on end because of stress and things like that. They then sell something that maybe they've made a couple of million, but that's their livelihood for years.
They've put their heart
and the government are there like, come on, time to
you think
pay
of
the
risk that the people have taken, you know.
Nobody who's set themselves up in business has done so with zero risk.
Well, that's it. You know, there might have been times where you know that struggle to make the payroll at the end of the month, and they think, oh, I probably can't afford to pay my own thing, so I'll pay all my staff. They, you know, and so yeah, there's some quite nice reliefs if you're selling a business. You can pay tax at like 10%, but they're thinking maybe you might be paying tax at 40 and 45%. That's potentially
what?
Yeah, they might equalise it with income tax, right? Capital gains tax. So it's either 10 or 20% of his shares, or 18 or 20 something for houses, second houses. But yeah, they think maybe.
Holy shit.
Potentially, but it's all just hearsay. We're no more like say. They can't really, because they're not allowed to touch the big movers, or they may or may not. But depending on the budget in October, that's when we'll find out.
Is that when that's when the budget comes out?
Yeah, 30th of October, I think. So we'll see what fun they have in store then. But yeah, if they're going to be true to their word, there's maybe only that and inheritance tax they could probably dick about with.
Yeah, you can't really put fucking VAT up anymore, can you?
No, so they said they won't touch it.
Same as income tax. Like, I pay far too much as it is.
But that's the problem, innit? Like, you think like the cost, everyone's cost of living's gone through the fucking roof, so everyone's paying more tax because you need to earn more, and the reliefs haven't gone up with it, you know. So it's, you know, if that 40% tax rate, I mean, if you're earning 50 grand, it's all right, but if you're living by yourself, 50 grand don't go too far these days. No. Whereas, you know, that 50 grand paying 40% back 10 years ago, that was probably the equivalent of 80, 90 grand now.
Yeah.
So it's tough, man. But that's, to be fair, that weren't Labour's doing. That's been, you know, governments for God knows how long, they've just not put anything up. I think that's
they
need the money.
Yeah, when it comes to obviously, like the Tories obviously realised probably in the last couple of years, maybe even more if they had half a brain on them, realised that they're not getting in again. So they're like, well, let's not fuck it up. We'll drive it into the ground, and then Labour can take the fall for it. And then as long as we don't put any rates up or jack any taxes up, then they will have to, and then they will be the bad guys. I'm not defending Labour at all. I hate KEIR Stalin. Two-tier KEIR.
I didn't know anything about him, but all I know is he fucking got into the Euros final and they were interviewing him. Just ruined my night. I was like, I just want to watch the boys play football. I don't want to fucking see you, cunt. Yeah, and then we lost after, didn't we?
Yeah,
so I just ate him now.
Yeah, he didn't.
He was the reason why we lost to the Spaniards. I was there.
But I mean,
you wanted to be in my
there's a lot of rumours floating around about how people might even be means tested on their state pension, which is fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, that's just nuts.
I really hope that that's just fear mongering from right wing media, because I really hope that doesn't.
You've worked for that long, paid into the fucking system for that long.
Then turn around and go, well, you've got a fair bit put back.
Yeah, you don't actually need it.
Well, I think that's it. I think like maybe the means tested for that heating allowance is fair enough.
Yeah,
because I think that some people are, you know, the decent pensions or whatever.
Yeah. My grandparents, they do not need a heating allowance.
Same as mine, you know. It's a fucking, you walk in there, it's like being in Mount Doom.
Yeah, that's
Jesus Christ.
She's got it on now.
Yeah, same. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Dante's Inferno in here. Am I in the seventh circle of hell? They're like, government's paying, lads. Fuck them.
And they get a little Christmas hamper at the moment, don't they? They give a little...
What?
Well, they call it hamper or treat or something, but they give them like 50 quid or a tenner or something, like in with their pension the week before Christmas.
Do they?
That's what my nan said.
Mad.
Yeah. And then she goes, these bloody immigrants, they're clocking up the NHS. Like I don't know if they are now. I think they're actually treating you.
I think the right wing media has a lot to answer for when it comes to what the older generation seem to think the problem is with the country. Can you remember, like, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, where it was those Polish cunts.
Oh,
those
my
Polish
God.
cunts
Yeah.
coming over here. Oh, they're the problem. They're coming over here taking good British working men's jobs. Nowadays, they're like, oh, you know, Pavel, he's fucking sound. He is. Tell you what, that man puts a fucking shift in, but fucking Jihad Jeff over there coming over here and taking up. You know, there's always a boogeyman in there.
Yeah.
And it's always the media has to be like, hey, look, new boogeyman.
Yeah, this is what we need to pick on next.
This is what we need to be angry at now is these guys that don't look at what we're doing behind the scenes. Don't make a joke on Twitter. You'll do 4 years inside. You heard they're going to start emptying the prisons?
Fucking hell.
They want to get, I think last I heard was a couple of days ago, they want to get 5,000 prisoners out on that are in for like low-level crimes, but they've not. I don't think time of recording, they've not said what these crimes are, because they need to make room and take the slack. What they need to make room what they need to make room for is people like me and Marlon and other edgelords on the internet that make quite funny but near the knuckle jokes, and they're like, that's hate speech. That is hate speech. Like Matey in those protests going, who the fuck is Allah? And they're like, jail, straight to jail, straight to jail. Undercooked fish, straight to jail.
Oh, £1 fish.
Yeah, this is. I'm a free.
Do we have a limited time left?
I'm a free speech absolutist, and I hate. Like, I don't like seeing people running down the street going fucking Allah Akbar in balaclavas and hoodies and shit. I don't like that one bit.
No, because we are a Christian country.
But god damn it, it's freedom of speech, and I'll defend their right to do it, because it's a slippery fucking slope. It really is. I don't like it. I don't like when people have the freedom of speech infringed upon. It makes me sad, because it's like, I see it as a human right personally, and then especially when because it started off as, you know, having freedom of speech, and then it was like, oh, you can't say this, and we were all like, yeah, don't let him say that. And then it's like, oh, well, you can't say that either. And we're like, oh, well, yeah, I think, yeah, don't say that either. And now they're like, oh, you made a joke on Twitter about something that made someone sad. Oh, straight to jail. And we're like, oh, wait on a minute, this is fucking madness. I'm like, you voted for this because they that's how they did it. They were like, hey, look, you don't like people shouting about this in the street. You're like, no, I don't. No, we'll make a law. And we're like, yeah, make a law. And I'm like,
you can't do it. It works two ways,
They
mate.
are taking your rights away, and you are voting for it. It is like turkeys voting for fucking Christmas. Because it is. It's very easy for, you know, people to see these things and go, I should fucking stop that. They shouldn't be allowed to protest at the Memorial Day parade. And I don't agree with it one bit, but you can't take away.
No, but they shouldn't be allowed. You can't, because this is our country.
Look, yeah. What? No, they shouldn't be allowed to, and I don't like it. But they can. The thing is, if you ban that, then you're not just saying, oh, that you're not allowed to protest at the Memorial Day Remembrance Day parade. What you're doing is essentially taking away people's right to protest, because they're not just going to go, oh no, you can't do it on this day. They'll say, oh, you need a license to do this, and you know, if it gets too rowdy and too many people, you're taking away, you know, the people's right to gather and right to protest. Like, you can get dispersal orders now where people can't gather in too many people, and essentially that's what a protest is, and that's how things changes with protest and, you know, people speaking up and freedom of speech. And I don't know, I might be a glass half empty kind of guy, but it does scare me, and I don't like it, and it sucks. Like with the Just Stop Oil, yeah, it sucked. They were fucking bellends, and don't get me wrong, they're fucking pricks when they were sat in the middle of the road and they're gluing themselves to the roads. But
there should have been like a special order put in where you can run them over.
Yeah.
This is the thing, like everyone was saying, yeah, stop them. They need to bring laws in to stop them. They need to bring laws in to stop them. And I'm like, yeah, laws that stop people protesting. And that's not good. That's not
but the
good.
Thing is,
when they came for the Just Stop Oil, I said nothing. Then they and by the time they came for the meme laws, there was no one left to speak for me.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? You're only so many steps removed from years ago.
I don't like it.
I think like the problem is these days, you're not allowed to disagree with anyone. Like, it's absolutely okay to disagree. You just don't have to come to fisticuffs or hate each other. You can just have a decent chat. Someone's got to be right now.
There's such a huge divide, isn't there? Between
someone's got to take offence.
The woke and the libertarians, and you've got the left and the right. And there's such a divide that it doesn't seem like anyone's willing to meet in the middle.
And it's okay to be wrong as well. You know, I've done loads of things. I've had loads of stupid opinions when I was younger about people and races and things like that. And then I've met good people, and you're like, oh, hang on, you can be wrong. It's okay.
The thing is, we're influenced hugely by what we consume. And if you're constantly reading about immigrants bad, immigrants bad, left wokest liberals bad, left wokest liberals bad. And when you fucking meet someone with blue hair and shit all in their face, and, you know, you think you're a fucking bellend, but as you sit down and get to speak to them, as long as you stay off of politics, you're like, gosh, you're all right. Like, we are just people. You can put politics aside. I've got friends that are out and out leftists. I mean, fucking Gilo's nearly a communist, bless him. And he's one of our best mates. So, like, I think, you know, divided we fall in a way. I think we need to unite against I don't know who, but someone.
It doesn't stop us taking the piss out for everyone.
I know,
you know, but this is comedy gold. It's great.
I know.
Everyone just take a joke.
Trump is getting back in, and shit, it's going to be an absolute gold mine for the next 4 years, Marlon.
I'm so excited.
The podcast is not going to stop.
I'm excited. I go to America the day after
Trump gets in. Because he is getting in. Let's not.
Jesus
mate, I got my t-shirts ready. I'm fucking going. Let's go, baby.
I'm so excited.
I'll be at SEMA. Make America great again. I have my red cap on. I'm fucking going all in. Down the shooting range.
Brave.
I will be back.
Have you seen Have you seen Kamala Harris's like, she's on her like campaign trail at the moment. She's got like the worst t-shirts in the world, like as merch, or like, you know, obviously you got Make America Great One, Trump, and it's all of it is whoever's done the branding for that is fucking brilliant. It's just beautifully done. And it's Kamala's got like these ones that are like X for Kamala. It's like blacks for Kamala, whites for Kamala, or, you know, anything like this. And there was this fucking, I don't know how else to say it, this little fag, and and he had twinks for Kamala. I was like, oh no.
Jesus.
That is, if you were like on the fence, you're like, do you know what? Maybe we do need to give the Democrats another 4 years and see how they get on. Let me just see how her. Nope, fucking absolutely not. That's like some hillbillies be like, yeah, racist for Trump. Bring back hee-haw.
You imagine somebody in Texas looking at it going, what? And
what?
Cousin fucking tarnation is going on.
What?
Trump! Woo, let's go, baby!
What in the blue hair chai latte drinking? Femboy fucking madness am I seeing on this television box now?
We gonna make America great again.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of upset people whoever gets in, even if Trump or not Trump.
Well, the last time Trump didn't get in, they invaded the Capitol.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
What the mess.
If they have another revolution, we'll be there. Don't worry, guys. We'll take it back over if you want. If you can't run it, we'll run it for you. We've done it before. A lot of practice. Actually, we did this. You know, used to be ours, weirdly enough, along with the rest of the globe.
Yeah,
and then we had a war and couldn't afford it anymore, so we had to give it all back. And now look at them. Have you seen that video by Lord Miles? You ever heard of Lord Miles? I might do a fucking whole podcast on him one day. I'd love to get him on the show, but he's a very busy man. He was the guy who went to Afghanistan at the fall of Kabul when the Taliban took back over control. You know, when literally as we were pulling out, the Taliban were coming in. And Lord Miles was there, and he was the guy on the plane taking selfies on that C-130, and everyone was like, look at this fucking idiot, goes out there on holiday as the Americans are pulling out. Anyway, so he's been back there like 5 times.
He got issues.
He sells Taliban merch. He's a legend. Oh my God. You see, they're not our tally foes, they are our tally bros.
Is that where the Death to America flag is behind the bar?
I think he's had some Taliban merch made that instead of says, you know, I don't know, whatever it says in fucking gibberish, it says like, instead of saying like death to the West or whatever it says, he's had it written in Arabic on the, you know, it's like that. It's a white flag, isn't it, with lots of very tall, scribbly black gibberish. Instead of saying whatever that is, he's had it changed to write in Arabic, live, laugh, love. Anyway, so I was watching some of his stuff. He went out to Taliban. He went out to Afghanistan to go start a gold mine recently. Oh my God. He was the one that got captured by the Taliban and was held in prison for 8 months. And everyone thought he was dead because everyone's like, that idiot has gone out to Afghanistan again. He got arrested by the Taliban because he was trying to start a gold mine without the correct licenses. And he pulled out like $2,000 out of Western Union, and it raised a lot of flags, being that that's about half of, the
GDP.
About half of like your standard person's salary for the year, and so he got collared by him, and he got put in this sort of prison, taken as their prisoner for like 8 months. But apparently, he got on really well with them. He was like, yeah, we sat down and we watched Titanic, and they loved it. One of them got emotional and cried, but apparently every time a scene with a woman came on, they were like, "Oh, boring! Oh, woman, no!" And he was like, he said when he got released, he got back, and it took him quite a long time to accustomize and readjust to life in Western civilization.
Women, boring!
Yeah, because he was like, God, just women talking. It's just so annoying now. He's so autistic, and he is so funny. You've got to check him out on YouTube. It's called Lord Miles, and he went to Snake Island. He's like one of these idiots. He's a danger tourist. He went to Snake Island, which is that island off the coast of Brazil that has like 20 snakes per square meter.
Yeah, full of snakes.
And he went in a suit of armor because they couldn't bite him if he was in a suit of armor.
He must do a lot of crack.
He's just nuts, mate. He's just completely obscene. But yeah, he sells Taliban merch now, so I might cop some.
Please don't.
New line on the website. Patrons get it first.
He does. Whenever he goes away, he gets like little souvenirs and brings them back for his patrons.
Can you do a collab with him?
I'd love to get him on the show. He's done Andrew Tate. He's done a load of podcasts. Really funny, interesting, completely batshit insane guy. But he did He rated every country in the world on a video. He's like, I think it was like Autistic Man Reviews the Globe or something was the title of the video. And he's going through this map, and the start of the the very start of the video, he's like, right, we'll start where we need to start. And he just grabs a massive black marker pen and just crosses out Africa. And he was like,
oh, it was that bad.
He was like, France, worst.
Can we'll cross that out as well. Fuck
France,
them.
worst Muslim country in the world.
Lovely batons, though.
Here we are.
Funny tower in the middle of it. Smells like shit.
He goes, here we go. He's like going through all the countries in Africa, and he's like, Liberia. North American slaves were free to go here, and since then they've built nothing.
Jesus Christ.
Brutal. Absolutely. It's hilarious, but brutal. It's, yeah.
Truthful as well? Truthful?
But the thing is, he's visited most of the countries on the map, so that's why he's giving sort of an honest review of them. So, yeah, you should check him out. Lord Miles on YouTube. He's nuts. He's just fucking nuts, but I'm loving it. Before we get into the weeds of Reg's weird YouTube obsessions, I wanted to ask you, KEIR, I don't know if you know much about it, but I think you'll probably have a better insight than me and Marlon will.
How do we stop the boats?
No, that's not. That's not what I was. Not where I was going.
All right.
Have you seen? I've been sort of keeping an eye on it. The sort of COVID boom bust that's happened. Obviously, a lot of businesses that obviously did really, really well in COVID and were like, yeah, this is amazing. And then obviously the world went back to normal, like it was always hopefully going to. And now we're seeing a lot of companies that are invested massively in certain things, or even were created because of COVID, and they were like, oh, making millions. And then they just completely shit out. One of which being Kazoo.
Oh, Jesus.
That went
massively tits up.
Yeah, I watched the rise and fall of that because they invested big time, didn't they? Bought they're all custom vans.
Yeah.
And they must have bought 1,000 of them, if not more of those vans. You used to see them everywhere.
I was gonna say, I've not seen one of those in yonks.
Well, I think Kazoo have gone bust.
Shit.
Yeah.
I think that they might still be trading as like a really shitty auto trader, but the whole thing was they'd either source you a car or you'd have just a list of cars that they had.
Now the AUTOMOVERs just fucked them over. Single-handedly put them out of business. Live tracking.
Live tracking, mate. Honestly, I think that sold it for everyone.
I don't know what's the stock price. They're still trading by the looks of it. Stock price.
Yeah, they got one Corsa in stock.
Holy shit. Okay. So would you?
Can you see
the
3-year decline on that?
Brett.
Oh wow,
that hockey stick.
That's Jesus.
Oh.
So it started off with a stock price of its peak of 2021 February, so height of COVID. It was $26,000 a share, and it is now trading at 2 cents a share.
Jesus.
Yeah.
They're not related to Bitcoin, are they?
In the last 5 years, it is down 22,599.
That is mental.
Well, that was the problem. It was apparently the bloke that started it. He's actually started like quite a lot of businesses, and they've all been very successful. So he's done very well for himself.
It was a very good idea.
Well, that is a very good idea in the time that we were in.
Yeah.
But as a country, and I don't know if it. Well, I say as people, but I think more so as a country. When we buy a car, we go and most of the time we're going to have a look at it, or we pay someone that knows what they're doing and has our interests at heart, like the AUTOMOVER, not the people that are selling us the car. We really take their word for, oh yeah, don't worry, you don't need to come and see it, it's fine, this is the price, we'll deliver it. I mean, that was perfect during COVID because no one was really able to go out and do that. So you kind of had to if you're in the market for a new car.
But they did have I can't remember, it was 7 or 14 day money back guarantee if you weren't happy with it.
For any reason?
So, yeah.
All right.
We had a couple come into us, like people who had bought Land Rovers and stuff.
Yeah.
And brought them into us and said, like, can you just go through this a minute? Because I've literally bought it from Kazoo. I just want to know if it's sound or if I send it back.
Well, that's fair enough, isn't it? But that's not really when buying a car. That's not what
we like the experience, don't we?
We do. That's right. Yeah. Don't you love going there, looking around it, trying to get a bit of a deal, picking faults with it, or being like, "Fucking hell, this is the one. This is the one." The last thing I want to do is fork out all this money and the car turns up on my drive, and I'd be like, just really
disappointed.
I think you're going to find fault with everything, aren't you? Even if it's a tiny little nick or a ding, you're immediately going to be like, fucking hell, fuck's sake. Fucking...
I wish I'd have gone and looked at it myself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then now we're in the position where we can go and look at cars and whatnot. We will do that. Or
not that we have the fucking time to.
Or like you say, you're going to pay someone like the AUTOMOVER to go and do it for you. And he'd be like, you know what, I'm going up here to look at it for them, so I'm going to look at it like I was buying it myself. But yeah, it's... when it first came about, I thought this isn't going to last because you need to change people's habits. It costs hundreds of millions, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. I think the problem is that these massive companies like that, they invest so much, and the problem is with a big company, it takes so long to make the change again to come back round to that was a short-term thing, really. COVID, it felt like a lifetime, but you set a company up to work in a 2-year really time period, and then you're set up ready for that, and then all of a sudden we're free and we can actually go outside without being scared about getting a cold or something. And then they're just what you fucking do. Yeah, they've got hundreds and hundreds of lorries and shit like that they can't get rid of.
Shitloads of staff.
All this, shitloads of staff they're gonna have to just spin off the infrastructure
and stock and
people, logistics managers, offices.
Yeah, it's huge.
Where do we get this car?
Warehouses. Yeah. And I assume they're stocking. I don't know how it worked, whether they were sourcing the cars or whether they were actually stocking them themselves, buying them from auction.
Or they're on
you could find them on their website.
Well, now they still have a website. It's like a shitty auto trader that's just crap. Why would you? If I said where would you buy a car, you go Facebook Marketplace, Auto Trader, or eBay, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
really. That's the only
Auto Trader, eBay. Facebook Marketplace is full of too many dickheads, scammers, and knobheads.
Yeah,
and
I wouldn't go. Oh, check Kazoo. Because anyone who's advertising on Kazoo, because I think now it's just quite literally a car marketplace where other people will advertise.
Right.
If they're advertising on Kazoo,
they're somewhere else.
They are advertising
without
on Auto Trader, aren't they?
And that's the problem. If they're too slow to change with the times or something like that, is it smaller business? You can think, oh, okay, well, I'll get rid of that, repurpose this, and all of a sudden you've got a brand new kind of, we've had some clients that really ramped up during COVID. Then obviously they maybe it was slightly overstaffed, things kind of tanked a little bit. They've had to restructure and redo things, and now they're coming out the other side. It's been fucking grim, but because you're so small, you can make those decisions. You don't have
You're
to
nimble and agile,
that's
you,
it. You can do things, and it's not the end of the world that you've not got £1 million hole sort of to fill. It's still a couple of grand, but
and you're not completely over leveraged on all these vans that you've just bought and had customized to fit cars in.
That's it, because that was a whole thing. Like they had box vans,
which
could lift a 500. I was going to say Saxo, but they don't really exist anymore.
Super minis.
Smallish cars into the back and put them in the back, drive on down the road.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's such a huge outlay to buy something like that because it's so niche, and they all have to be, I assume, made by a coach builders. A coach builder's gone out and built those, but the residual value in those is fuck all because it's such a niche market that you're aiming it at. It's only going to be people like the AUTOMOVER and other people that do maybe BCA have a fleet of small ones or something like that. I don't know.
It wouldn't be economical for BCA to deliver a car like that because they sell so many.
Yeah, maybe smaller auction houses or dealers, maybe they buy them, but really they're going to be scalped alive on the second-hand price of these things, and that's where you think, oh, fuck. I'm not trying to say I could see the future, but when it came about, I thought when this all goes back to normal, this isn't going to last.
Yeah.
Because no one wants to buy a car like that. We're only doing it because we have to.
Yeah. You think even those, on the smaller scale, they're little shitty Etsy shops. People's missuses selling fucking wax things and stuff like that. People are only kind of buying them because
they couldn't.
No one
couldn't go to
do anything.
Can't go to Home Bargains,
Yankee Candle or Lush.
Yeah, that's it.
And don't get me wrong, I'm all for entrepreneurship in whatever you do. But fucking free market economy, long live it. But there was so much stuff going on. I mean, there was great stuff that came out of it. Look at Sean the Chef. Literally came out of COVID, just him piss-assing around in his kitchen, and now look at him. I went down to the unit the other day.
God damn.
Buzzing around.
There's some fucking stainless down there, mind.
Scrap man, have a fit.
I think that's the difference though. If you've got someone who's really good and there's quality there, you'll be fine anyway. How many...
Yeah.
I went through a phase ordering cookies through the door, and they were not from Sean the Chef, but all these other ones sprang up out of nowhere, and then DDA dog shit, weren't they? They were absolutely horrible. But the good ones will stand through because people will still buy them.
That's it.
If it's good shit, people are, that's it.
There's always something from Sean the Chef in the fridge, isn't there?
Oh, always. I know the diet's taking a bit of a battering. Thanks, Sean.
I got diabetes.
When I went and picked up those boxes from him the other day, and I said, I'll buy you a drink at the show, and he's like, yeah. And I was like, the logistics of getting through that tent with multiple pints is going to be a pain in the ass. So I just went down to Tesco's, bought 2 crates, stuck them in the fridge, and then took them straight down to him at the show. I was like, have some of that, boys. Yeah, nothing buys you love with Sean like cider. And it was hot in that tent, and I was like, I think these will be appreciated, and they've been in the fridge. But
Jesus, grow up and have a lager, innit?
I think the other thing with
unless you can cook, then fair enough. He's all right.
The people I took my hat off to in COVID were these people that, I mean, you could say they were scalpers, but they were popping up everywhere. When you went on holiday and you had to get a test to come back.
Oh my God, I got raped for those.
Yeah. Any empty shop front, those fuckers were in there, weren't they? 50 grand testing kit or whatever it cost, it didn't matter. They could see the pound signs. They're thinking, first thing people want to go do is want to go on holiday. The paperwork and the tests be damned. They'll do it. And we did, and I did. I did it 3 times, I think. I went during COVID. I went to America, I went to Greece, and I went to Prague. And the amount of testing that I had to do over there, in there, and some of them were free, some of them you had to pay for, especially the one in Catalonia. You could tell it was an empty shop front a year ago, and it was fully set up with nurses, testing equipment, and it was like €90 each.
They weren't real nurses.
And the thing is, I did think they were quite scantily clad, and asked if I wanted to go upstairs. Strange that.
It was a Goldfingers, wasn't it?
Oh no! I thought this was the COVID centre. Now I'm getting sucked off. Yes, that's right. You take the sample, dear. But yeah, that, like you say, they just invest in it and they'll put some money into the testing kit and they'll get their money, and when it's done, they're done. That's it.
The machine's paid for itself.
Yeah,
They've earned a decent wedge off it.
I always take my hat off to people like that will get in and get out of something real, where they see opportunity there and they realise this isn't going to last forever. And this is a big risk. You know, some of that testing equipment must have been 6 figures.
Yeah, but it's easy though when you're mates with the MPs who are doing the ordering. You know,
yeah, you're like, hey, how long is this going to go?
Play with a full deck of cards, aren't they? Fucking hell.
Why have the gloves gone up 120%?
Yeah,
that was another life. Fucking think of that. Like that was only 4 years ago.
It does seem strange, doesn't it?
Fucking nuts, isn't it?
It does. There's like COVID review. It was weird, wasn't it?
Stay at home, but go to work.
Can you remember like ordering like a portion of chips? You could just sit on the piss all day in the pub. How mental was that?
Scotch egg,
substantial meal.
A substantial meal. Like put some gravy and chuck a faggot in there, and I'll call that a substantial meal.
That eat out to help out was fucking nuts, though, wasn't it?
And then that man became our prime minister after that. Yeah, thanks, Rishi.
Oh, Rishi, miss you.
Yeah. It's often a case of better the devil you know, isn't it? Because God, we slated all of them all the way through. Not Tessa, what was her name? Teresa. Jesus, can't even remember.
Oh,
Teresa.
yeah.
Actually, Liz Truss.
Yeah, she was. I mean, the only person
the
that
most useless
single-handedly raped. Yeah, she had 1 minute where she reversed the corporation tax. I was like, yes, well, I'm going to save a fortune every day. and then it's like,
and then she fucked us.
Yeah, she fucked us.
So what did she actually? I've got the broad strokes of what she did, but was it? She just basically didn't consult any sort of big dicks in.
Yeah, I think she was just like, you know what, we're gonna grow our way out of this massive deficit, and then she was like, oh, I'm going to do all these things, and they're all unfunded, and like that. Essentially, what happens? I think the markets kind of dictate things really, and they were like, I think you're bullshitting, Miss Lizzie. And they just tanked, and that's why all the interest rates had to go through
and
the
we
roof.
are
And
still
we're
suffering that now.
Yeah, she did more damage in a
I think interest rates were
41 days, something like that.
something like that. Yeah, she the lettuce lasted longer than it.
Did you see that she was doing some? Like, lowered the lettuce down, and she walked off stage.
Yeah, fuck that bitch.
I think we were living in the golden times then of 1.8 and 2% mortgage rates, and everyone was
But
like,
that's what it should be.
well, everyone was saying that it's never been like that.
That's the problem. I think that's helped prop things up for a long, long time. And now things have gone back to a normal thing. And obviously businesses are leveraged up to the hilt at 1%, have to remortgage, and it's, things are, well, look at your mortgage, you go from, I'm on a 1.8, not looking good, Brev. And then you remortgage at 5 or whatever, and all of a sudden your payments are fucking doubled.
Yeah, I think that's the same with that's what happened in 08.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah, well, not over here so much, but over there in America, the mortgage industry was allowed to just run wild thanks to who was it? I can't remember the guy that basically cut through all the legislation and was like, "We'll get rid of all this red tape. We're gonna let the ball loose, let the ball loose on the markets." And yeah, a lot of it. The thing is, when you do that and you get rid of a lot of legislation, often it is good. As it can let the economy flourish in certain ways, but you also let a lot of
greedy companies go wild.
Yeah, you get a lot of people that are like, hey, look, we do this really bad thing. We can make a lot of money and we won't feel the effects for a long time. They will come, but, hopefully we'll have made our money and fucked off by then. And they're letting people buy houses. Was it ninja loans? No income, no job. No income, no job. And you could have a mortgage on a house with no money down at a really, really low interest rate, paying interest only, and then when your adjustable rate ends after 2 years and the prices go up, everyone defaults on their mortgage.
You get all the houses back.
All the houses get repossessioned, and then the market is then flooded with all these houses. The property market takes a shit, and the mortgage industry crashes, and that's what caused 2008. In a nutshell, I think that's is that a fair representation-ish? I think everyone was hugely over leveraged on a lot of stuff.
Everything was fucked, I think.
That's what they call it.
My professional opinion.
KEIR reckons.
That's what they called it, the credit crunch, because everyone had everything on credit, and it was all well and good as long as the rates stayed where they were, and they didn't, and they went up, and everyone goes, I can't afford this. and then it all got repossessed, and they were like, oh, fuck. Oh, no one's got any money. And then whenever shit like that happens, the markets go, oh!
Yeah.
And everyone stopped. Like America had a bit of a twitchy one about a month ago, start of the month. See that?
Yes.
It all went down
Another
a bit,
school
and
shooting.
it was a little... Jesus Christ, Marlon.
That's a classic Tuesday in America. No more kids there.
One of my favourite, mine and Spunkle's favourite websites is Days Without a Mass Shooting. I look at seriously, you've got one for America, and it is a little counter. But yeah, that was it went a bit funny at the start of the month, didn't it? Was the start of the month, and the last month it all got a bit.
Yeah, I don't know why.
No, I don't know either.
And they just tank sometimes, don't they? They
Oh,
just,
is it-
like a little dippy dip.
It-
I think they say. Well, I think they say sometimes it's because the experienced stock traders that go on holiday. There's always like a little,
A little gap.
yeah.
in the market.
They go on like the good ones go on holiday, and the fucking work
trainee.
experiences are in just dicking about with the stocks and shares, and it fucks the market up for it. Genuinely, for like the start of summer or something.
Is it sell red, buy green? I don't know, Steve. You know what you reckon?
Sell it all. Sell it all now.
Sell it all.
Wow.
Is it the guy that was it Bearings that crashed in like I can't remember.
Oh God, those.
Bearings Bank. It was like in the 90s, I want to say. Some guy, it was like one guy that he managed to bankrupt one of the oldest banks in England because he had a massive deficit on his desk.
He tried turning it off and on again.
I think he was trading in Japan or something, or somewhere over there in the Far East for this Bearings Bank. I think it was Bearings. We'll check. And he was trading over there, and he was on a massive loss, and he was actually on track to make it all back. But the next day, I think it was
and
yeah,
realised he was dealing in yen and not GBP.
it was. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was 95. Yeah, and so that's right. It says the bank collapsed in 95 after suffering losses of 827 million, 2 billion in today's money, resulting from fraudulent investments primarily in futures contracts conducted by its employee Nick Leeson, working at its office in Singapore.
So one bloke. took the bank
There's
down.
there's documentaries about him online, really interesting. He crashed a whole bank. I think it was the oldest bank in England, founded in 1762.
Those pesky futures contracts. It's always what happens is banks just basically gamble with the money. They lend the
Big
money
Vegas
out. And then,
is what it is.
Yeah.
Wall Street and whatever the financial district is in London, it's just big Vegas. They just bet on futures. Like, I think that price is going to go up in the future. And they're like, okay, well, I reckon it's going to go down. Well, okay. And then you have people betting on that bet that he's made, and people betting on that bet that he made on that guy's bet. That's
Keep your money under your mattress.
It's fucking wild. But that's what happens essentially when a bank lends you a mortgage. They'll hedge it against something with a future or something like that. And
that's what was it in CDOs? That's what it was called, wasn't it? You haven't seen it, have you? You haven't seen the film. You really need to.
I know.
Of all the people that I really would have hoped had seen The Big Short, I thought you would have been one of them, but no. CDOs is something debt obligation. I can't remember. But yeah, they literally bundle all these mortgages together, and people bet on that massive bundle paying their mortgage. And they're like, oh, people always pay their mortgage. Who doesn't pay their mortgage? And that was why.
That's what fucked it.
That's what happened in 2008, because everyone's like, well, if we say you got 100 people paying their mortgage, Marlon, you bundle them all together, and you're like, well, who gives a shit about making 2% on 100 grand? But if you have all of these people that are, have got 100 people paying 2% on their mortgage, you're like, well, sweet, that's 100 people paying 2%. That's like quite a lot of money we can make there. So, and then you have people betting on that going up, and people, because who doesn't pay their mortgage? That was the whole thing. Who doesn't pay their mortgage? Of course people are going to pay their mortgages.
It's a house.
Yeah, of course they do. And then all of a sudden they didn't. And then lots of money was riding on this betting.
Paying
this
off.
Yeah, if you watch
And
The
it
Big
didn't.
Short, if anyone's got time, watch The Big Short. It will explain it so far better than me. Actually, Margot
And it will
Robbie.
stop him going on about it.
Margot Robbie's in a bath and explains it, so you'd be able to pay attention and like listening to me waffle on and get it wrong.
Margot Robbie gets her kit off a lot.
Yeah, but she's in a bath explaining how it all works. So
I prefer-
that's
Son of
it.
a bitch,
They
I'm
literally-
in.
And to explain it, they literally say, and to explain it, here's Margot Robbie in a bath. And she's
my
sitting there and she's like, now listen. And I'm like, I'm listening, mummy. Whatever you say. They have like Anthony Bourdain explain stuff as well. He's like, so if I've got a soup, and I'm like, yeah.
You got a soup. I got a soup.
It's like,
Can I get her in my bath?
That's disgusting. Oh, fucking hell. So yeah, it was about bearings, and then the an earthquake happened in Singapore, and obviously the stock market just went fucking nuts and plummeted, and that was it. That was the end of Bearings Bank.
Bye bank.
Because of one guy who was like, yeah, I reckon he was like 20 something and was completely unmanaged, just doing whatever the fuck he wanted on futures.
Jesus Christ. Thankfully, they're a lot more. They're a lot more regulated now. Well,
What happened in North Rock?
Oh yeah, they went down, didn't they? And what was that? Bradford and Bingley. There was that advert with the woman with a little top hat, like
Yeah.
Bradford and Bingley. I'm a woman with a top hat. You should put your pension with me. Where's my pension? We've lost it. We've got nothing left.
See, we were playing triple green.
Put it on 00. Came up 7. What the fuck are you gonna do?
bloody menopause.
Oh, damn. Fuck's sake, this is madness. We'll do a financial episode where we all talk about what we reckon and what happened in the past. It's always funny. It's always funny. I've lost my lighter. Have you seen it, Marlon?
It's not something I look for.
No, I seem to have misplaced it.
It's not underneath my hat.
Oh, it's under my phone. It was there all along.
Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thunk
Crazy
it?
times. Crazy times.
So what? I don't really know. I was going to say see if I had any advice for business owners at the moment, but I don't. I'm a bit. I know you obviously. Can you give financial advice?
No, I'm not a financial advisor, but it's.
I don't understand how it all works.
Oh, but tax.
If I was you, that's how I'm always told. If I was you,
hold tight, fam.
just hang on.
So I think there's always, like, before a change of government, I was speaking to a liquidator, and there was loads of before Labour came in.
That's the person you want to speak to, isn't it?
Loads of people basically just liquidated their companies and were just like, because I say about this capital gains thing.
Yeah.
They were like, well, sod it, I might as well pay tax at a much lesser rate now, retire early. So there was loads of companies just kind of went, and
just shutting the doors.
Just shut up shop, to take advantage of lower tax. But I don't know, to be honest, we just have to wait and see till October. Because they've not had enough time to really cock something up yet.
But anything in yet.
Yeah,
Not
well,
really.
But
we were just saying about Liz Truss. She didn't have a lot of time, but
that's
she made
true.
the most of it, bless her.
That's true. I think the market's quite liked it because there was certainty.
Yeah.
I don't know. The problem is they are notorious for putting those pesky taxes up.
Yeah, they are.
So,
I
don't mind. Like as long as I think people wouldn't mind if the money was spent well, but I just feel like they just
stop
fuck
sending
it
shit
off.
over to Africa. Please turn the boats around.
Stop paying jippos on benefits.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about the home front. The home front. I'm worried. The thing is, I pay all this tax, and taxes go up, and this goes up, and that goes up. Do I see any improvement in this country?
No, the roads are wanked.
That's the problem, I think. That was
what do
another
you see
one.
in front
The
of your
street
face?
lights are out.
Yeah. Well, it's like like you say, it's a big slap in the face. If you've got a massive tax bill, and you think, what the fuck is this actually, like,
Where is it going?
It's
just funding these cunts in that big fucking building.
Exactly. They always say that Britain's a very poor country with London attached to London. Because London's incredibly rich, but the rest of the UK is so poor.
Yeah.
You think like up north, like it's bad, isn't it? No offense up north, but I don't you need some money thrown at you, isn't it?
That's it. I think that's it, isn't it? Because a lot of these politicians mainly campaign on London, don't they?
They fucking live there, innit?
That's where they all live. The voter base is there and notoriously red as well. So
yeah.
If Labour focus there, put most of their focus there, and then go, well, we've definitely got the north. And we've got London. All we need to do is get a few of these other ones, and then we're golden, really.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've never been a fan of Labour, so I'm seeing this as it's a win-win for me. Either they sort everything out, and I'm going to be pleasantly surprised, or I'm going to be proven right.
I'm winning either way. I'm right.
I'm poor, but I'm
yeah. It's like betting against England on the Euros, isn't it? Or in the World Cup or whatever. Like, if they lose, I've made money. But if they win, we've won.
We've won.
Yeah.
It's easy money. Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know. I just hope that were they on about maybe the thing they didn't mention, because it was more in this budget thing that is what they didn't mention they were going to raise. So
it's
one of
reading
the
between
other,
the lines.
one of those pesky ones was council tax. They didn't say anything about people
We
putting that
can't
up.
pay any more
you
in
imagine
council
that?
tax. There'd be more riots.
I just-
Honestly.
The French have got it right, innit?
Yeah.
I could just smash something up because
Spread the fucking council buildings and shit, Reg. Let's go.
Oh dear. Right, I think that'll about do, boys. We're all fucking squared. I think we've done a little recap of the last few years and last few decades, and not really touched on what's going on at the moment, but we had a good time. That's all that matters, isn't it? It takes us where it wants to go, this show. Or whatever rabbit hole I lead it down, it seems to me. Do you know in 95 there was a bank called Berings and a man?
You were like the only person to fucking know that, really.
I spend too much time. I'm chronically online, terminally online, I should say, just learning shit. And it's good that I can draw it up because I can call on it.
Yeah, no, because that is definitely going to come in handy, like in a few years.
King
Definitely.
of the pub quiz, boys. I am.
that's going to win someone a tenner.
Yeah, actually, to be fair, I used to be in pub quizzes every Sunday, never fucking won. Just one best name, and that was it. Got me money back for the entrance. That's all I needed.
Oh my God.
Nearly got kicked out for hands up who wants to finger the barmaid. That got us in a lot of trouble. That wasn't my name either. Oh dear. Right. I think that about doing it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Pint glass update.
Oh, no, fuck the pint glasses. Remember, Shepton Truck Show this weekend, you useless pieces of shit. Find us, give us some abuse, get us drunk. We love you millions. We're going to have a fantastic time.
I'm very much looking forward to it. We'll see you there. Also, more importantly, pint glass update. I asked you guys in the last episode. We are recording this like minutes before this next the Friday's episode comes. Last week,
a sandwich.
last week's episode comes out.
Boring button, have I?
And I know you don't care, but I care. The pint glass request has been filled. Jimmy Harris found me. Chef James found me a box of 12 and delivered it to my house like the absolute legend he is. So Marlon is hating it because all I'm going on about is how nice my new pint glasses are. Thank you very much. So big shout out to Jimmy and the community for
It's not
making
even
that.
a nice shape.
It is a nice shape. I like it. Anyway, it's not the point. That'll do. Thank you everyone for listening.
Giant, beautiful.
It is. I've been Reg.
I've been Marlon.
I've been Kieran.
And that's the end.
Oh.
Until next week. Yay!